Live from Rapid City, Post 22 Baseball is on the internet. Not necessarily the air right now as we have technical difficulties with our broadcast on ESPN Rapid City 105.7 FM, 1340 AM. So for the time being, maybe even the entire night, we're going to be on the internet on Hardhats-TV. With that being said, we say good evening and we welcome you inside the press box of Floyd Fitzgerald Stadium here at Rudy's Corner. Mark Benetti alongside you for all the action tonight on Hardhats-TV as Post 22 begins yet another busy week of baseball, taking on Miles City tonight. Tonight's a single 9-inning game, and it features the Hardhats right now in the middle of a 7-game win streak, in which those 7 games the team has been offensively dominant. They have won 7 in a row. 6 of the 7 games, they've invoked the 10-run rule. In all 7 games, they've scored double-digit runs on double-digit hits in each game. And if that's not any better, the team's batting .435 in that time span. And the pitching's been great to boot as well. So good things are happening for this Hardhats club, and they look to continue rolling with that success to start off a week tonight that sees them play 6 games in 5 days. So it's a single 9-inning game tonight. Tomorrow is off. And then Friday's a doubleheader against the Sheridan Troopers. Saturday's a doubleheader against Dickinson, the host of the Central Plains Regional. And then Sunday, the Hardhats will finish off against Dickinson in a single 7-inning game. And that one's at 1 o'clock. So there's a lot of baseball for this team to be played. And you'll hear eventually from an interview I had with Coach Torvey this week on ESPN Rapid City that's baseball. Baseball is such a grind. It's a lot of the sport in such a short amount of time, whether it's at the American Legion level, the collegiate level, professional, at all ranks of professional, especially in the minors where you play a lot more doubleheaders than you do at the professional stage. So it's a grind. But Coach Torvey has this team prepared mentally and physically. The kids know how to prepare their bodies and take care of their bodies and stay mentally focused and mentally sharp as well. So it'll be a good test against this Miles City team tonight. As I was talking with Coach Torvey, he watched them play against the Expos last night, and Miles City got the best of the Expos, and the biggest thing that Coach Torvey pointed out about this team was that they can smack the ball. They can absolutely hit it. So pitching is going to be the big difference tonight, and if it does really get into a track meet, can Post 22's offense, that is rolling as of right now, keep up with Miles City and how they're doing things? Well, let's go ahead and take a look at the starting lineups for tonight's matchup. Again, a single 9-inning game, as both managers are coming to home plate right now to exchange lineup cards and give one final handshake before they really look at each other as adversaries. We're going to start off with a Miles City lineup as they are batting in the top halves of our 9 innings tonight. Leading off for Miles City is number 3, Dylan Neeskins, and he is out at the shortstop position. Batting second is number 22, Dylan Monroe. He is the designated hitter tonight for Miles City. Batting third is number 19, Cody Meyer. He's in the hot corner at third base. And in the cleanup position is number 52, Jace Notboom, and he is patrolling right field. Batting fifth is number 11, Seb Morrow. He's out at second base. Batting sixth is number 44, Thomas Ayers, and he is patrolling left field. Batting eighth is number 24, Dustin Benson, patrolling center field. Batting eighth is number 23, Logan Sinclair. He's the backstopper and catcher. And rounding out the batting order in the ninth spot is number 16, Austin Capel, and he is at first base. On the mound tonight for Miles City is number 27, Shane Sinclair, and he will do battle against the Hardhats in the bottom halves of our 9 innings of regulation with the lineup that is as follows. Leading off for Post 22 is number 13, Connor King, and he is patrolling center field. Batting second is number 21, Matt Hegre. He's out in the hot corner at third. Batting third is number 22, the standout Cooper Bowman, out at the shortstop position. And in the cleanup spot for Post 22 is number 23, Jack Sorensen. He'll serve as the designated hitter tonight. Batting fifth is number 30, Jace Caldwell, out at first base. Batting sixth is number 15, Zach Sumption. He's patrolling right field. Batting seventh is number 18, Alex Weaver, patrolling left field. Batting eighth is number 25, Ryan Schmidt, the backstopper and catcher. And rounding out the batting order in the ninth spot for Post 22 is number 12, Mason Messenger, and he is out at second base. The starting pitcher for the Hardhats tonight is Zach Cholas, the ace, the lefty of this squad. Cholas comes in for his 4th appearance of the season. All of them are by virtue of a start. He only has 10 innings of work under his belt, but his last outing in particular was simply sensational. And you take a look at what Zach Cholis was able to do recently for Post 22, and Cholis last pitched against Post 320, and in that start, he went 4 innings, struck out 7, and walked 2 on 70 pitches. He had a 1-hit allowed in his start, and not a single run. Hardhats ended up winning that game 14-2. Cholis comes in with a 1-1 record on the season. He has a 1.4 ERA with 16 strikeouts compared to 16 walks. He's only allowed 3 hits in his 10 innings of work. So the biggest thing that tells you is that Zach can throw strikes, and he puts the onus on the opposition either striking out or putting the ball in play. So he makes it very tough for them because very rarely does he give up a free pass. He's averaging just under 1 per inning pitched, and over, or just under, I should say, 2 strikeouts an inning at 16 strikeouts to 10 innings pitched. So good things coming for Zach Cholis. We'll see just exactly what the lefty can do in the top halves of our 9 innings of regulation against Miles City tonight. Both starting lineups are being announced, folks. We're going to take a quick step aside, and when we come back here on Hardhats-TV, we will have first pitch ready to rock for you in just a few moments. Tonight you are watching tonight's game only on Hardhats-TV. We'll be right back with first pitch after this. We're all set now for first pitch here on Hardhats-TV as Post 22 begins yet another busy week of baseball. Their first of 6 games to be played in 5 days, and this one is against Miles City out of Montana. Mark Benetti alongside you here on Hardhats-TV tonight. For those that didn't get the memo, we are having some technical difficulties on ESPN Rapid City, 105.7 FM, 1340 AM, so you're not going to find the game there as of right now. I'm having trouble at the moment trying to dial into the station, so for right now, we're on Hardhats-TV, so you get to watch the game tonight solely on the internet. Zach Cholis is taking his warm-up pitches right now. He's going to take on the top 3 in the Miles City order, and Dylan Neeskins, the shortstop, Dylan Monroe, the designated hitter, and Cody Meyer, the third baseman. Cholis comes into this matchup with a 1-1 record under his belt. This is his 4th start of the season, also his 4th appearance. A 1.4 ERA with 16 strikeouts compared to 16 walks. He's only allowed 2 runs that are both earned on the season on 3 hits in his 3 appearances. Defensive alignment for the Hardhats has Cholis and his left arm on the mound, paired up with his battery mate and catcher, Ryan Schmidt. At first base is Jace Caldwell. At second base is Mason Messenger. At shortstop, Scooper Bowman. And in the hot corner at third is Matt Hegry. Left to right in the outfield, Alex Weaver, Connor King, and Zach Sumption. Neeskens, the shortstop, will step into the right-handed batter's box as the Hardhats have finished their traditional hard hat pound on the pitcher's mound. All coming in as one unit, one last salute to each other before they get ready to do battle against Miles City tonight. It is an overcast night. Wind is blowing from left field to right field, and it's currently 74 degrees. So an interesting night of baseball weather. First pitch from Cholis is fouled by Neeskens to the backstop, and our game has officially begun at 7:02 for those that want to time how long we go tonight. No balls and a strike to starting count here to Neeskens, a right-handed batter. And Cholis back to it. The 0-1 swung on and missed on a two-seam fastball inside, and it's 0-2. Cholis, a lot of break on that fastball when he throws it. Looking for a punch-out on his first batter faced. Full windup for the lefty. Here comes the 0-2. Caught him looking. Strike three with a fastball right at his knees on the inside corner. One up, one down for Cholis on three pitches. And that's going to bring us to Dylan Monroe, the left-handed hitting designated hitter. So our first lefty-on-lefty matchup of the night for Cholis on the mound. Monroe steps in, and now our umpire has given the signal to play ball. First pitch from Cholis. Called strike right at his belt. 0-1. The MO of Cholis is that he flat-out throws strikes. And that's great to see that he has that attack mentality. 0-1 pitch, just missed low. And the count will even up at a ball and a strike from Cholis to Monroe, both gentlemen left-handed. Ball and a strike the count. And here's a 1-1. Just missed the outside corner, and it's 2 balls and a strike. 2-1 now the count. Cholis taking his time. Full windup for the lefty. 2-1. Swung on. Ball's hit right up the middle. Messenger gets to stop at second, but then it boots right off of his glove. And I think they're going to rule that an E4, and that's exactly what we see on the board. So an unfortunate turn of events there for Mason Messenger, as the E4 allows Monroe to safely reach first. So one down with a man on first. That's going to bring us to Cody Meyer, the third baseman. And that's a play that you'll see happen maybe once every 20 times with Messenger at second. He's very reliable defensively. First pitch from Cholis to Meyer, the right-handed hitting third baseman, is a swing and a miss. 0-1 the count. Cholis now pitching from the stretch as there's a gentleman on first. One out and a scoreless top of the first. We just started not even 2 minutes ago. 0-1. Runner goes. And the throw to second is not in time, as the pitch was called a ball as well. 1-1 the count as Monroe heads to second with a stolen base. Solid effort there by Schmidt, just throw wasn't there quick enough. So 1-1 now the count with Monroe in scoring position. Cody Meyer, the right-handed hitting third baseman, up. 1-1 pitch is high and inside, 2 balls and a strike. 2-1 now the count to Meyer. Scoreless here at the top of the first. There was another thing Coach Torvey said about this team. They like to run. They can hit. They like to run on the base path. 2-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. And the count will even up now at 2-2 from Cholis to Meyer. Jace Notboom is on deck, the right fielder. And looks like he is setting up in a right-handed batting stance. So still only one lefty Cholis has faced so far. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Cholis steals. Just missed low. And the count goes full. That was a great 2-2 pitch. Cholis has a deceiving changeup that just breaks. It slows down and it loses gas, so it comes down. It looks like it's going to be a fastball, and then it just comes right down. A big payoff pitch for him here. With 1 out and a man in scoring position. 3-2. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. That's K number 2 in the book for Cholis. 2 down with a man on second. And that brings us to Chase Notboom, the right fielder. So that's now 18 strikeouts on the season for Cholas. And that is good for third on the team behind Drew Messer. He was in a tie for fourth with Holden Jackson. And his first pitch to Chase Notboom is a called strike, 0-1. There's a man on second, Dylan Monroe. Now 2 outs here in the top of the first, still scoreless. Cholas a double take, 0-1. Just missed outside, and the count evens up at 1-1. Ball and a strike the count with 2 outs and a man on second here in the top of the first. Still scoreless between Miles City and the Hardhats. Chase Notboom, the current batter, right-handed batter, right fielder. And Cholas deals his 1-1. That's a called strike on the knees, outside corner. And it's now a ball and 2 strikes, and Cholas is a pitch away from 3 Ks and 4 batters faced to end the inning. This would be a key strikeout here, too, with a man in scoring position stranded. 1-2. Cholas from the stretch, a double take to second, and he deals. Swung on, ball's hit right up the middle, nearly hit the umpire, stopped by Messenger. Throw to first is in time, and that's going to end the inning. A great play by Mason Messenger, and that ends the top half of the first. No runs, no hits, 1 error, and 1 man left on the base path in scoring position. We've played half an inning of baseball, and Post 22 will come to their first at-bats in a scoreless deadlock. We'll take a step aside and come right back, as you can only watch and hear tonight's game on Hardhats-TV. Well, Post 22 is now transitioning from defense to offense. Connor King, Matt Hegry, and Cooper Bowman are due up here in the bottom half of the first. They will face the righty in Shane Sinclair. Miles City's defensive alignment has the righty Sinclair on the mound, paired up with his battery mate and catcher, Logan Sinclair. At first is Austin Capel. At second is Seb Morrow. At shortstop is Dylan Neeskins, and in the hot corner at third is Cody Meyer. Left to right in the outfield is Thomas Ayers, Dustin Benson, and Jace Notboom. So Connor King is set to lead off the Hardhats tonight in this bottom half of the first inning. We have no score, no hits in this game either. Miles City got their only base runner by virtue of an error. That was committed by Mason Messenger at second, but the Messenger followed up with a fantastic play to end the top half of the first. It was not an awkward throw, too. He made a great stop, then had to basically slam the brakes, and while his body was going the opposite direction, throw it. First pitch to King is a ball. He'll start off 1-0. Connor King on the season, batting .348. He struck out a dozen times and walked just twice more than that. 1-0 pitch. And that's a called strike at his belt, and the count evens up at 1-1 for the only lefty in the Hardhat batting order. King, Hegry, and Bowman in that order due up here in the bottom of the first. Here comes the 1-1, and that's outside, 2 balls and a strike. Tonight is Pie Night here at the Fitz, which is why there's such a great crowd and so many red tickets in the crowd, too. I'm hoping this is my year that I get to actually win one of these things. 2 balls and a strike the count to King, and the pitch is swung on and fouled to the left of my press box. And the count evens up at 2-2 for the Hardhat center fielder. Connor King officially on the season is 23 for 66, 5 doubles and a triple to go along with 16 ribbies and 22 runs scored. 2-2 pitch. Swung on, and that ball's flared high in the air to center field. Underneath it's Dustin Benson running, backtracking, and he makes the catch. Out number 1, an F8 to Connor King, flying out to his position. That's going to bring up Matt Hegry, the third baseman now. Hegre with some pop on his bat. He comes into this matchup batting .268. Right-handed batter against the right-handed throwing Shane Sinclair. Base path is empty for Hegre with one out here in the bottom of the first. Both teams still scoreless. And the first pitch swung on, and that ball's drilled in the air to left. Thomas Ayers is walking, and it goes off the back wall. Hegre's going to round first and take second with the first hit of the ball game between both teams. It's a one-out double. And Hegre's in scoring position for the lethal Cooper Bowman. One out here in the bottom of the first, and the Hardhats are threatening with the game's potential first run. Cooper Bowman, what can you say about this guy that hasn't already been said? A .451 batting average, team-leading 26 ribbies, team-leading 27 runs, team-leading 32 hits, on a team-leading 10 doubles. Need I say more? Oh, and his glove's pretty good, too. Shane Sinclair looks to second, and his first pitch to Bowman swung on. Ball's hit right up the middle, and it takes a chop. And the throw to first is airmailed, and it goes off the fencing. It takes an active bounce. It comes right back to Austin Capel. Seb Morrow got pressured by the speed of Bowman and airmailed it. So that'll be an E4 that not only allows Bowman to get safely on first, but allows Hegre to advance to third. So now it's men on the corners with one out, and that's going to bring up the cleanup hitter, Jack Sorensen. Sorensen batting .346 on the season and .348 with runners in scoring position. He has one standing to his left 90 feet away. First pitch from Sinclair. Swung on, ball's chopped to third. Stops made on the play. Hegre is out at third. And the throw to first is not in time. That was a very close play over at third. I thought Hegre made it back, but the umpire clearly had a better view than I did. So Hegre called out on the 5 unassisted fielder's choice that allows Sorensen to safely reach first base. Bowman advances to second. It'll be 2 outs. Men on first and second to bring up Jace Caldwell. Jace Caldwell fresh off of his first home run as a hard hat. It came with every base occupied. So in the baseball vernacular, that is a grand slam. He's batting .377 on the season. That's only second to Cooper Bowman with regards to qualified batters. Caldwell 23 for 61 on the year. 5 extra base hits, including that grand slam that he hit on Sunday against the defending champs. First pitch from Sinclair. Breaking ball called strike. It's 0-1. That pitch started off the plate inside and it came right back in. 0-1 the count now against Caldwell. Men on first and second for him with 2 outs and a scoreless bottom of the first. 0-1 from Sinclair. Pitch is turned on and it's hit to third, but foul. And the count goes to 0-2. So Caldwell in an 0-2 bind. Men on first and second. 0-0 the score between Miles City and the Hardhats on our annual Pie Night Showdown. Sinclair taking his time. Now he sets after taking a quick peek around the bases. Double take to second. 0-2 to Caldwell. And the ball hits him. And Jace Caldwell is going to take a free pass to first. How many times do I make it a talking point on the air, folks, that not only is a hit batsman in an egregious error, but when you are so far ahead in the count at 0-2, the next pitch could have rung him up. Maybe it's a ball and you keep going a little deeper into the count, but on an 0-2 count and you hit the batter, that could be a costly mistake here for Miles City, as now Zach Sumption comes up with the bases juiced. 2 outs. Bottom of the first, scoreless. Crucial moment early. And the first pitch to Sumption nearly hit him. And it's 1-0. Sumption comes into this matchup hitting much better in recent memory. .236 on the season coming in. And .304 with runners in scoring position. His 1-0 is cut on and missed. And now his count's evened up at a ball and a strike. Big moment here for Zach Sumption. Every base occupied with 2 outs in a scoreless bottom of the first. Bowman on third, Sorensen on second, Caldwell on first. 1-1. Pitch is swung on, hit high in the air, right side. It comes towards the foul line. Looks like it's going in foul territory, and coming in all the way from right to make the catch. There's Jace Noteboom to end the first inning of play. So no runs for the Hardhats on just one hit with one error charged to Miles City. Bases left loaded. We've played one frame of baseball out of 9 regulation, and the Hardhats and Miles City are still scoreless. We'll take a quick step aside and come right back with 5, 6, and 7 due up in the order for Miles City here on Hardhats-TV. Post 22 fans, help us celebrate and honor those that serve and protect our community. During the Veterans Classic Tournament, we'll have special events on Saturday, June 16th. Come early to see a real fire truck and honor all those that serve. If that's not a big enough game to celebrate our nation's history and our military as well, the Firecracker Tournament's coming up shortly after that, and it's a highlight for many fans here in Rapid City. Mark your calendars for the 43rd Annual Camping World Firecracker Tournament. It takes place from June 29th to July 4th. So the Veterans Classic from June 14th to the 17th, and then the Firecracker from June 29th to July 4th. Seb Morrow, the first one up. His first pitch from Cholis, hit to Bowman on a hop, and the throw to first is in time for the out. That was very quick. One pitch, one up, one down. And that'll bring us to Thomas Ayers, the left fielder. Thomas Ayers, a right-handed batter, playing again in left field for Miles City. Base path is empty for him with already one down on one pitch. Here in the top of the second, still scoreless between both sides. First pitch from Cholis. Just missed at his letters. 1-0. That was an awfully close pitch. And again, it had that movement on it as well. Cholis puts a lot of movement on his fastball. Here comes the 1-0, and that misses low and inside. 2-0 now the count from Cholis to Ayers. One out here in the top of the second. And the 2-0. Just missed low, and the count goes full at 3-0 to Ayers. 3 balls and no strikes the count. And the 3-0 from Cholis is high and away, ball 4. So it's a 4-pitch walk with 1 out issued by Cholis, his first of the ball game. That's going to bring up Dustin Benson, the center fielder. Benson with a man on and 1 out. Double play is in effect to end the inning if the Hardhats can turn it. Benson sets up in the right-handed batter's box. Cholis looks to the man at first, and the first pitch is a called strike at the belt of Benson. It's 0-1. No runs, no hits, 1 error for Miles City. No runs, a hit, and an error for Post 22 through an inning plus. And the runner's caught in a rundown. Caldwell to second, tag applied, and out trying to steal second was Thomas Ayers. Brilliantly executed maneuver by Zach Cholis, who waited. The runner took off. He caught him in the rundown, and that was that. So a 1-3-6 in the book. Gets Ayers off the base path. No balls and a strike to count to Benson. Base path is empty. Benson's next pitch is hit high in the air to left center. That's going to drop in front of King for a base hit. So it's a 2-out single for Benson. And how big was that second out? And that is going to bring us to Logan Sinclair, the catcher. So a man on first for Sinclair with 2 outs. Here in the top of the second. Still scoreless. Cholis a look to first. And from the stretch, first pitch. Swung on and missed. Pitch was way outside to Logan Sinclair, but he opted to offer at it. 0-1 the count now to the Miles City catcher. Miles City and the Hardhats starting off a busy week of baseball for the Hardhats. 6 games in 5 days starting tonight. And 5 and 3 by the time Friday night comes around. 0-1. Swung on and missed. Nice breaking pitch there from Cholas. That ball just sunk right down. 0-2. So he's looking for strikeout number 3. It would be his first since Cody Mayer in the top of the first. No balls, 2 strikes with a man on second, 2 outs. And the 0-2 swung on and missed. Strike 3, and that'll do it. Strikeout number 3 for Cholas ends the top half of the second. No runs on a hit with no errors charged to the Hardhats. 1 man left on the base path on first base. We've played an inning and a half of baseball. And post 22 and Miles City are still scoreless. We'll take a step aside, and when we come back, 7, 8, and 9 are due up for the Hardhats, starting off with Alex Weaver. In the bottom of the second, we'll be right back with that and more here on Hardhats-TV. We're just having some off-air banter upstairs with the first batch of numbers getting called out for pie night. There's not a pie claimed by the end of the night. I'm claiming it. I don't know if that's in the bylaws of pie night or not. We might have to check, but I'm coming home with a pie. I don't care what happens. We now go to the bottom half of the second inning here at the Fitz. Mark Benetti alongside you on Hardhats-TV. We're having some issues with ESPN Rapid City tonight. We can't seem to get a word back from the station on what exactly is going on with our ability to try and check in and get our signal out there. So we're on Hardhats-TV tonight. For those that did get the memo and are currently tuning in, we thank you for staying patient with us. And if you haven't tried Hardhats-TV before, well, then here's what you're missing out on. Alex Weaver, Ryan Schmidt, Mason Messenger are due up in this inning. Starting off with Alex Weaver, the left fielder. Shane Sinclair back on the mound for his second inning of work. So Alex Weaver will start us off in the bottom half of the second. Weaver batting just shy of 300 on the year at 296. First pitch from Shane Sinclair is high and inside, buzzing the tower, 1-0. So Weaver, Schmidt, Messenger due up in this bottom half of a scoreless second inning. 1-0. That's high and away. 2-0 now to Weaver. Alex Weaver on this season, 16 for 54. 2 extra base hits, a double and a triple. 10 ribbies on 13 runs scored. Next pitch is swung on, flared high in the air to short, and Neeskins is underneath it to get the easy out at shortstop. 1 down for the Hardhats with 1 up, and that's going to bring us to Ryan Schmidt, the catcher. Schmidt, despite being in the 8-hole in this lineup, is batting .346, and he reminds me in that respect so much of former Hardhat Justin Kramer, who batted in the 9 spot, but was one of the best 9-hole batters I think I've ever seen statistically. And the first pitch to Schmidt's a called strike. Inside corner, it's 0-1. No balls and a strike the count to the Hardhat backstopper, and the 0-1 is a called strike in the exact same spot. It's 0-2. Schmidt again batting .346, 18 for 52 on the year in 61 plate appearances. 0-2. Pitch is just fouled off, and Schmidt stays alive. Schmidt struck out 14 times on the year compared to 7 walks. And he is in jeopardy of one of those with 2 strikes and 1 out here in the bottom of the second. Still scoreless between Miles City and the Hardhats. Sinclair, full windup for the righty. 0-2. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. And that's his first strikeout of the start. 2 up, 2 down for the Hardhats here in a scoreless bottom of the second. And that will bring us now to Mason Messenger, the second baseman. Both teams identical stat lines. No runs on a hit with an error. First pitch to Messenger is upstairs for ball 1. 1-0 the count to the Hardhats second baseman. Messenger coming into this game batting .250 on the year, 6 for 24. All 6 of his singles are hits. 1-0 pitch, swung on, ball's hit high in the air to first base side, foul territory, and it's out of play. And the count will leave it up to a ball and a strike for Messenger. 1-1 the count. Still scoreless here at the Fitz. 1-1 pitch, and nearly hit him. That nearly clipped him. 2-1 now the count to Messenger. Sinclair a full windup for the righty, and the 2-1 is low and away, and the count will now go to 3-1 for the Hardhats second baseman. No one on the base path for him with 2 outs and a scoreless bottom of the second. Miles City taking on the Hardhats tonight to start off their week. Here comes the 3-1, and that's high and away for ball 4. So Messenger gets a 2-out walk, and that'll bring us back to the top of the order. Lefty Connor King comes up. King in this ballgame's 0 for 1. He flew out to center field on a 2-2 pitch. Messenger takes his lead off of first. Sinclair a quick look over, and now he'll set up in the stretch. Check to first is wide, and Messenger's going to get up and take advantage of second. He may even have 3 on his hands. He rounds second. He's going to come for third, and the throw will not get there in time, and then it gets away from him, but there was some coverage from Sinclair, who went to back up the third baseman, Cody Meyer. Heads up base running from Messenger, though. And good on him, making sure that he needed to be watched by the pitching staff of Miles City. Sinclair kept an eye on him and tried to get that quick pickoff move, and it was way wide. So that'll be an E1 that allows Messenger to take second and third. Connor King still looking for his first pitch, but now he has a chance to knock in the first run of the ball game. It's 90 feet to his left. First pitch is high and away. Ball 1 to the lefty and King. Again, King 0 for 1 in the ball game with a fly out to center field. Base hit would give the Hardhats the first run between both sides. 2 outs and a man on third, bottom of a scoreless second. Sinclair, 1-0 pitch. Called strike. Outside corner, it's 1-1. Ball and a strike the count. Here comes the 1-1. Pitch is swung on, hit high in the air to shallow right. Notboom comes in from right, calls off the second baseman, Seb Morrow, makes the catch. And that will end the Hardhats' threat. No runs, no hits, 1 error charge to Miles City. 1 man left on the base path, and that was Mason Messenger, 90 feet from giving the Hardhats the first run of the ball game. We have played 2 innings of baseball, and we are still scoreless between Miles City and the post-22 Hardhats. We'll take a step aside, folks. We'll be right back in just a few moments with the top of the third inning and the 9-hole hitter, Austin Capel, to lead us off for Miles City. We'll be right back here on Hardhats-TV. Two innings have been played here tonight on Pie Night here at the Fitz. Post 22 and Miles City still scoreless. Nearly identical stat lines. Miles City, no runs, a hit, a pair of errors in the field. And for the Hardhats, no runs on a hit with just 1 blemish on defense. Mark Benetti alongside you here on Hardhats-TV. We're having technical difficulties with ESPN Rapid City tonight, so for right now we are only on the internet for tonight's 9-inning regulation showdown. Zach Cholis back on the mound. He'll take on Austin Capel first. And his first pitch is a called strike to Capel. It's 0-1. Capel is the Miles City first baseman. 9-1 and 2 due up, and he leads off. 0-1, swung on, ball's hit to third. Hegre with a nice backhand stop, and his throw to first is in time. Nice routine 5-3 put out by Hegre and company. 1 up, 1 down for the Hardhats on defense. Now brings us back to the top of the order to Dylan Neeskens. Neeskens is 0 for 1 with a backwards K in the book. First of 3 Chola strikeouts. And his first pitch rides upstairs for ball 1. Neeskens was very aggressive in his approach. Struck out on 3 pitches. He's going to see more than that now. 1-0, too far inside. It's 2 balls, no strikes. Two and 0 now the count here to Neeskens, the shortstop. And Cholas deals. Too far inside. It's 3-0. Cholas trying to get that inside part of the plate. It's worked so well, too, because Neeskens has fought for it. 3 balls, no strikes. And Cholas deals. Called strike on that inside corner. He hit it. It's 3-1. Neeskens will have to see another pitch. 1 out, and the base path's empty for him here in a scoreless top of the third. Here comes the 3-1. Swung on. That ball's lined in the air to shallow center. That's going to drop for a base hit. Connor King tries to field, and then the ball skipped away from him. And the throw comes into Messenger. As advancing to second was Neeskens. I think that's going to be a single and an error that allowed him to take the extra base. So now here comes Dylan Monroe with 1 out and a man on second. A very costly mistake there by King trying to field the ball. Monroe, the lefty, is 0 for 1. He reached on an error. That's exactly what it is. It's going to be a single and an E8. And the first pitch is check swung foul. 0-1 to Monroe. Monroe had that bat on his shoulder, and when he turned away from the pitch coming inside, it clipped his bat. No balls in to strike the count to Monroe. Cholas a double take to second. 0-1. Bunt is showed. It's offered, and it's a called strike. 0-2. So unless Monroe's feeling very lucky, there will be no bunt here. It's a very interesting maneuver, considering that he was nowhere near the pitch when he squared to bunt. Started running before the ball even came to home plate. Cholas feigns a motion to second, so retreating to second is Neeskens. Man on second with 1 out here in the top of the third. Still scoreless between Miles City and Post 22. Both teams have threatened with a runner in scoring position at some point in the ball game. Just haven't been able to knock him in. 0-2, misses low and away, and Schmidt gets the block. 1-2 now the count to Monroe. Cholas looking for strikeout number 4 in this start. It would provide the second out of this top of the third inning. Still scoreless with a man on second in Neeskens. Cholas takes his time, and now calling time himself is Monroe. It is pie night here at the Fitz. It's a nice crowd. Everybody hoping they can come home with a pie of their choice. Here comes the 1-2, and it hit him. And there is a 2-strike miscue for Zach Cholas, as it was a hit by pitch that came with 2 strikes. If there's any silver lining to that happening, though, it reestablishes a force at all 3 bags. So the Hardhats could get out of this with a double play if they can roll it. But it's an extra base runner to worry about. Cody Meyer comes up. He's 0 for 1, the second of 3 Zach Cholas strikeouts in this start so far. Met on first and second with 1 out now in the top of the third. And the first pitch is upstairs on Meyer, 1-0. Meyer struck out on a full count swinging when he did. Ball and no strikes. And the 1-0 is upstairs, 2-0. 2 balls and no strikes now from Cholis to Meyer. We're still scoreless here in the top of the third. 1 out, men on first and second. Cholis gets a sign, and he will set from the stretch. Check to second is not in time. Messenger thought he had it. Messenger thought he had Neeskens. What a great maneuver that was again by Cholis to execute it. Because you got to figure from the stretch as a lefty, he's got to turn the full way to get that throw off. It was accurate. It was on point. He just missed it by a hair. Still waiting on the 2-0 pitch. And we will get it. And it just missed outside. It's 3-0. Cody Meyer now with a 3-0 count. Ryan Schmidt's going to have a quick word with his lefty. Men are on first and second right now for Miles City with 1 out here in the top of the third. Still scoreless, but Miles City once again in a position to threaten with a runner in scoring position and another man behind him. And this could turn into a very interesting scenario if the next pitch from Cholis is ball 4. Cholis came into this inning with 27 pitches. He's at 41, so he's thrown 14. Number 15 coming up, and it's an important one. 3-0, swung on and missed. And it's 3-1. Meyer still has to see at least 2 more pitches. Cholis looks around the diamond. Here comes the 3-1. Swung on and missed. And now the count goes full. 3-2. Lather, rinse, repeat. Another very important pitch coming up. Cholis, if he gets it, his 4th punch out would be huge. Payoff pitch to Meyer. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. And there's K number 4 in the book. 2 down with men on first and second. Miles City still threatening. That'll bring us to Jace Notboom. Notboom's 0 for 1. The ground out to second to end the top of the first. That also was with a man in scoring position. First pitch, high and away, ball 1. If Cholis gets out of this, Heggery, Bowman, and Sorensen in that order are due up in the bottom half of this third inning. If not, Seb Morrow's on deck. And these guys could either be in a very threatening position or have already come across with that threat with a 1. 1-0 pitch is a called strike. 1-1 now the count to Notboom. Men are on first and second for the righty with 2 outs here in the top of the third. One pitch. Just missed. And the post-22 faithful are providing their umpiring skills. It's falling on deaf ears. 2 balls and a strike the count. Arguments could be made for an inverse of that. And the 2-1 is a called strike. And now the count evens up. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Cholis has a pitch to work with here. It is a 2-2 count. He'd like to potentially get that K, though. It would be number 5. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Cholis looks around the diamond at first and second. From the stretch, 2-2's upstairs, and it goes off the glove of Schmidt. The runners were going, so everybody advances a base. Neeskens now to third. Monroe to second. Now a full count for Jace Notboom. Big payoff pitch. Three balls and 2 strikes to count. Cholis is going to go full windup from here. And his payoff just missed inside for ball 4. And so the inning keeps going as a 2-out walk is issued by Cholis. That will load the bases up. That's going to bring up Seb Morrow, the second baseman. And now Coach Klappridge is going to come out and have a quick word with his lefty. Coach Klaprich, the pitching coach and coordinator of Post-22 baseball, so he gets to deal with every arm in the system, not just coaching the Hardhats. He deals with every arm in the system. For those wondering what's happening while Coach Klaprich is having a quick conference, it's a 0-0 game with 2 outs here in the top of the third. But Miles City is threatening against the Hardhats with the bases loaded. Jace Notboom just drew a 2-out walk to load up the bases. Monroe was hit by a pitch, and he advanced on a 2-2 pitch, part of a double steal. And then Neeskins singled. An error to center allowed him to go to second, and then he took off for third in that sequence as well. First pitch from Cholas tomorrow, and that's upstairs for ball 1. Seb Morrow on the ballgame is 0 for 1, grounded out to short on the very first pitch he saw to lead off the top of the second. Bases are loaded, 2 outs, scoreless top of the third. Cholas trying to keep it that way. 1-0 pitch is high and away. It's 2-0. Cholas taking his time before he steps back on the rubber. 2 balls and no strikes. A very high-pressure situation. And now time is called by Morrow. If Cholas gets out of this, Haggerty, Bowman, and Sorensen are due up in that order. If not, Miles City will have struck for the first run of the ballgame. 2-0 pitch. That's upstairs, 3-0. It was a nice fastball from Cholas. It was just a tad bit high. And so now this next pitch could really change the complexion of this inning. Full windup for Cholas. 3-0. And that's upstairs, a 4-pitch walk. And it knocks in the first run of the ballgame, and Miles City has a 1-0 lead over the Hardhats with 2 outs, and the bases still loaded here in the top of the third. So Neeskins comes around to score. Monroe is now on third. Notboom on second, and Morrow on first. Chase Caldwell comes in, some words of encouragement for his lefty on the mound. And now Thomas Ayers comes up. Ayers walked, and then he was caught in a rundown. That eliminated him from the base path. First pitch, upstairs, ball 1. 6 consecutive balls thrown by Cholas since Notboom's payoff pitch walk with 2 outs. Here comes the 1-0. And that missed low and away, 2-0. Cholas running into some trouble here, and now his control's starting to show it. He just threw his 56th pitch. He came into the inning with 27. Two-0 pitch. Called strike at his knees. And Ayers now has a 2-1 count. Ayers has the bases loaded with 2 outs in the top of the third. An RBI base on balls to Seb Morrow knocked in the first run of the ball game. Miles City now up 1-0 on the Hardhats. Here comes the 2-1. That's up high, 3-1. And now Schmidt's going to come out and have another quick word with Cholas. Cholas hasn't been able to bring that fastball down. He's throwing a lot of high balls that are fastballs. He's got to find a way to bring that down or go with something that's going to hit the zone. His bread and butter is throwing strikes. He has one of the best first pitch strike percentages on the team. He has one of the highest percentages on the team when his first pitch is a strike of registering the batter out. Cholas is at 72.7% when that happens, but he just walked Ayers. Back-to-back RBI bases on balls with 2 outs. And now it's a 2-0 Miles City lead. Monroe comes in to score. Notboom on third. Morrow on second. Ayers on first. That brings up Dustin Benson with the bases juiced. And Cholas is still out there. They're going to keep him going. And his first pitch is a called strike. 0-1 the count to Benson. I was mentioning Cholas, when his first pitch is a strike, he retires 72.7% of those batters. 0-1. Swung on and missed on a curveball. Strike 2. This is the Cholas we know. Throwing strikes, attacking batters. Benson has one of the only 2 hits of the ball game for Miles City. He's 1 for 1. Cholas a pitch away from changing that to 1 for 2. And the 0-2. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. No, foul tipped. They're saying it's foul tipped. I thought that was a drop third strike, the way that the ball traveled. They're saying it's foul tipped, and now Cooper Bowman's going to get in on the conferencing on the mound. And Schmidt will come to him too. Benson just must have caught a piece of that. Either way, if strike 3 was dropped, first base is occupied, so it would have been the end of the inning anyway. No balls, 2 strikes. And the 0-2 to Benson. Just missed, low and away on a curveball again, 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. To Dustin Benson with the bases loaded and 2 outs here in the top of the third, a 2-0 Miles City lead. 1-2, swung on and missed, strike 3, and that'll do it. So Cholas, in a tad bit of a jam, couldn't cleanly get out of it, but he still got out of it all the same. 2 runs were scored on the power of just 1 hit with 1 error charged to the Hardhats, and the bases left loaded. We've played 2.5 innings of baseball and post 22 trails for the first time tonight. 2-0 is the Miles City lead. We'll take a quick step aside, and when we come back, Matt Hegre, Cooper Bowman, and Jack Sorensen, are due up here on Hardhats-TV. That top of the third was a rough inning for Zach Cholas, who threw 37 pitches. He hit a batter, and he walked 3, 2 of them in a row with the bases loaded, to eventually knock in the only 2 runs that this Miles City team has. 2 runs, 2 hits, 2 errors for Miles City, and for the Hardhats, it's no runs on a hit with 2 errors. That's going to bring up Matt Hegre now to lead off the bottom half of this third inning. Hegre, Bowman, and Sorensen due up for the Hardhats. Mark Benetti alongside you tonight on Hardhats-TV. We're having technical difficulties with ESPN Rapid City. First pitch to Hegre, turned on, and it's drilled down the third base line and in a left for a base hit. Hegre turns on his afterburners. He's rounding first, going for second, and the throw's not in time. How about that? Matt Hegre is 2 for 2 in this ball game, and both of his hits are for 2 bases. A pair of doubles for number 21. He leads off the bottom of the third with 1. A runner in scoring position early for the Hardhats, and that brings up the tying run in Cooper Bowman. Bowman is 0 for 1, reached on one of the 2 Miles City errors. And so now Sinclair, after briefly speaking with Logan Sinclair, the catcher, is now set to go one-on-one against Bowman. Man on second, no outs here in the bottom of the third. Hardhats trailed 2-0 with a chance to tie it up. And the first pitch to Bowman's upstairs, 1-0. 1-0 the count here to Bowman. Post 22 trailing by 2, looking to try and even things up. Here's the 1-0. Swung on and missed. Looked like a changeup, 1-1. Pitch did not come in with nearly as much pop as the last one did. Ball and a strike to count out of Bowman. Sinclair looks to second. And the pitch. Inside, 2-1. 2 balls and a strike to count now to Bowman. Hegre, a short lead off a second. Miles City protecting the bag very well. Sinclair looks in for a sign, and he gets it. Sinclair from the stretch. And the 2-1 is up high again. 3 balls and a strike now the count. A fun game of cat and mouse going there on second with Seb Morrow, the second baseman, and Matt Hegre. Hegre led off this bottom half of the third with a double. 3 balls and a strike to count. And the 3-1. Low and away. Ball 4. Catcher can't locate the ball. Hegre thought about taking third, and he decided to hang on. So Bowman draws a walk. It comes with no outs. That means men on first, second. Still 3 chances for the Hardhats, and that brings up Jack Sorensen, the DH. Sorensen 0 for 1. Reached on a fielder's choice. 5 unassisted with Hegre coincidentally on third. He was registered out via the force. Excuse me, via a tag. Men on the corners when it happened. First pitch. Swung on and foul tipped into the glove. Strike 1. 0-1 the count to Sorensen. Again, 0 for 1 in the ball game. Sorensen came into this game batting .346 on the season. And with runners in scoring position, batting .348. 0-1 pitch. Low and away. And the count evens up at 1-1. That was a nice pitch by Shane Sinclair. With a pitch that started in on the plate and then broke away from it, but Sorensen didn't offer. Good eye for him. 1-1 now the count. Shane Sinclair, the righty, looking in for a sign. Men on first and second for the Hardhats. Bowman on first, Hegre on second. Trailing by 2. 1-1. Pitch is swung on and it's flared foul. First base side and takes a big thud off of the awning on the grandstand. 1-2 now the count. Hardhats trailing 2-0. Straight 2s across the board for Miles City. 2 runs, 2 hits, 2 errors. The Hardhats 1 less 2. No runs, 2 hits, 2 errors. Both hits to Matt Hegre, and they are both doubles. 1-2 the count to Jack Sorensen. Men on first and second, still no one out here. And the 1-2 pitch is high and away, and the count evens up 2-2. Bowman on first, Hegre on second. Hegre the double, and Bowman the walk to gain entry on their respective bases. And the 2-2 inside just missed. And the count goes full. It was a very close pitch. We saw a backwards K on a pitch identical to that earlier from Zach Cholis in that spot. Sorensen may have gotten away with one there. Payoff pitch to Sorensen. Pitch is swung on, hit high in the air to left field. Charging in towards the line is Ayers, and Ayers is going to make the catch. And everyone will hang tight on their respective bases. F7 in the book. One down, for the Hardhats with men on first and second. That'll bring us to Jace Caldwell, who is hit by a pitch on an 0-2 count. That is not the only hit by pitch on a 2-strike count in this game. Cholis is the owner of the other one. So Caldwell still looking for his first at-bat. Took a free pass his first time up. Hegre still on second. Bowman still on first, but now 1 out in the bottom of the third. Hardhats trail 2-0. And Sinclair's first pitch swung on, and it's fouled off the paraphernalia of the umpire, I believe. 0-1 the count. Ricocheted off of an object behind home plate. I don't see the catcher laboring. I don't see the ump laboring either. That must have hit a shoulder pad or something. No balls and a strike the count. I mean, not that his shoulder padding shelf is like that of a defensive end or something. It's a pretty small shelf. It's almost like a lacrosse player, if you will. Still good enough. Protection for our umpires. At least the ones behind home plate. Here comes the 0-1. Double steal. Runners go. Throw to third. Not in time. Good base running by the Hardhats. A nice double steal as Hegre's now on third. And Bowman takes second. It was a called strike to Caldwell, so he is behind 0-2. Man on second and third, though. So the sac fly still in play to knock in a run for the Hardhats, if that is what happens. No balls, 2 strikes from Sinclair. He deals to Caldwell. Swung on, ball is hit high in the air. And it comes to shallow right. Coming in from second is Morrow. And Morrow gives way to the right fielder and makes the catch. Everybody's going to hang on to their respective bases. That could have been near disastrous for Miles City. They are lucky that Morrow and Not Boom from right didn't collide to dislodge the ball. 2 down. Still 2 men in scoring position. That's going to bring us to Zach Sumption. Sumption flew out to his position in right field, so he's 0 for 1. That ended in a bases-loaded threat in the bottom of the first. So he stranded 2 men in scoring position. And he has another 2 men in scoring position to try and deal with now. First pitch, a called strike. 0-1 the count to Sumption. Off-speed pitch. If he's retired, we go to 8-9 and 1 in the Miles City order in the top of the fourth, and it's another offensive opportunity squandered for the Hardhats. Time called by Sumption as he steps back into the box. No balls, and a strike his count. And Sinclair comes from the stretch, 0-1 pitch. Swung on, and it's fouled off the face mask of the umpire. And the count goes to 0-2. Well, good cut by Sumption. He was just under it. Hoping to avoid the K. It would be the second one for Sinclair if he got it. Here comes the 0-2. Swung on and foul tipped into the glove for strike 3. And that will end the hard hat threat once again. No runs on a hit. No errors charged to Miles City. 2 runners left on the base path, both in scoring position on second and third. We've played 3 innings of baseball. Miles City still holds on to a narrow 2-0 lead over your post-22 Hardhats. We'll take a quick step aside, and when we come back, we'll have the top of the fourth. 8-9 and 1 due up for Miles City. You're watching and listening to tonight's game only on Hardhats-TV. The evening of Zach Cholas has just come to an end. And taking over for the lefty now is the young fireballing right-hander Branson Keel. Keel's going to come in for his 4th appearance of the season. All of them are by virtue of relief. In relief, though, he does have a 2-0 record under his belt, and should the Hardhats come back and he's still on the mound, then he would be the pitcher of record. 7 strikeouts to 7 walks, an ERA of 0. Has not allowed a hit, has not allowed a run all season. Keel takes over for Cholas, who went 3 innings, allowed 2 earned runs on 2 hits, struck out 5 and walked 3, hit a batter as well on 64 pitches. That 37-pitch 3rd inning really took Cholas out of it. So now 8-9 and 1 slated to bat against Keel. Great velocity for his age and his experience. Let's see how much his control has improved since the last time we saw him. Here comes the first pitch, and it swung on and missed. 0-1 the count to Logan Sinclair, who's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. He was the 3rd of 5 Cholas strikeouts while he was still on the mound. And the 0-1 misses low, and the count evens up at 1-1. The last time we saw Keel was on May 13th against the Billings Scarlets. He went 3 innings and got the win in relief. 1-1 pitch. Swung on, ball's hit to second. Messenger charges, gets the stop, and the throw to first is in time. Out number 1, 4-3 in the books. 1 up, 1 down for the Hardhats on defense and for Keel on the mound. And that will bring us to Austin Capel, the first baseman. So in those 3 innings, he struck out 1, hit 1, and walked 2. But he didn't allow a hit or a run, as he has not all year. 1 up, 1 down for him. Capel comes up, 0 for 1 with a ground out to third. First pitch from Keel, swung on and missed. 0-1. Capel nearly swung himself out of his boots. That was a hard cut. Here comes the 0-1. And that pitch misses low and inside, and the count evens up at 1-1 now for the Miles City first baseman. Miles City, 2 runs, 2 hits, 2 errors through 3+ innings. Hardhats, no runs, 2 hits, and 2 errors. Here comes the 1-1. And that just missed. 2-1 the count, and the Hardhats faithful voicing their displeasure with that call. Keel takes his time. Full windup for the righty. Here comes the 2-1. Swung on and missed. And now the count evens up at 2-2. Keel's looking for strikeout number 8 on the season. It would be his first one in relief. Just his second batter faced. 1 down, base path empty here for Capel in the top of the 4th. 2-0, his Miles City club's up. And now time's called just as Keel starts his motion. Capel steps back into the box, and the umpire's ready to rock. Full windup for Keel. 2-2 pitch. Just missed low. And the count goes full. 3-2 now to Capel. Keel about to throw his first payoff pitch. Full windup. Payoff to Capel. Caught him looking. Strike 3. There's strikeout number 1 for Keel, and that's 2 up, 2 down for the Hardhats on defense. And that'll bring us to Dylan Neeskens. Neeskens, the shortstop, is 1 for 2. He has the most recent Miles City hit. It was a single, and he came in to score the first of their 2 runs. Struck out, though, to start off the entire ball game on 3 pitches. First pitch from Keel is a fastball in there for strike 1. 0-1 the count. And again, the X factor to Keel, as young as he is his velocity is solid. Here comes the 0-1. Just missed on another fastball. That one went low and away, and the count evens up. A ball and a strike. That buckled Neeskens a bit there, too. It definitely froze him because he thought about hitting. You could see his knees buckle a bit. 1-1. Swung on and missed. Keel going with the breaking ball that broke low and away. 1-2. Keel looking for back-to-back strikeouts. Full windup. 1-2 to Neeskens. Just missed again on the breaking pitch. His infielders thought it was strike 3, but they're going to have to wait at least 1 more throw. Here comes the 2-2 to Neeskens. Swung on and just fouled to the backstop. And the count will hold even at 2-2. If Neeskens is retired, 7, 8, 9 are due up, starting off with Alex Weaver. Schmidt and Messenger to follow in that order. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Keel a full windup, dealt to Neeskens. Swung on and it's fouled off again. Neeskens in a battle here, and we will have another 2-2 pitch coming up. Base path is empty here for Neeskens in the top of the 4th. 2-0 his team's lead, 2 outs. Potentially the last pitch of this inning coming up. Full windup for Keel, 2-2. Missed low, and the count goes full. Quite a battle we have here between Neeskens and Keel. This is the 8th pitch of the at-bat coming up. Here comes the payoff pitch for Keel. Swung on, and the ball's lined to Hegre, and he gets the stop for the out. A nice catch by Hegre over in the hot corner, and that will end the top half of the 4th. A 1-2-3 inning for the Hardhats on defense for the first time tonight, which, as we all know, means no runs, hits, errors, or anybody left on base. 3.5 innings of baseball in the books. Hardhats still trail Miles City 2-0. We'll take a step aside and come right back with the bottom third of the order in the bottom of the fourth here on Hardhats-TV. Fans, don't forget to celebrate and honor those that serve and protect our community. During the Veterans Classic Tournament, we're going to have special events on Saturday, June 16th. Come early to see a real fire truck and honor those that serve. The tournament is from June 14th to the 17th, and following that from the 29th to the 4th of July is the 43rd Annual Firecracker Tournament. Sinclair back on the mound to face the Hardhats. He'll go through his second go-round of 7, 8, and 9. Weaver, Schmidt, and Messenger due up. And the first pitch to Alex Weaver is high and outside for ball 1. Weaver is 0 for 1. He popped out to short in his first at-bat, leading off the bottom of the second. 1-0 pitch is fouled. 1-1 now the count. Post 22 trailing Miles City, Montana, 2-0. 2 runs, 2 hits, 2 errors for Miles City, and for the Hardhats, it's no runs on 2 hits with 2 errors. Ball and a strike to count to Weaver. Shane Sinclair still on the mound. Here is the 1-1, and that nearly hit him. That was over his head. 2-1. I think that one just got away from Sinclair. He hasn't made too many miscues like that, throwing a pitch. So 2-1 still to count. To Shane Sinclair. Excuse me, from Shane Sinclair to Alex Weaver. Here comes the 2-1. Swung on and the ball's chopped to short. It's a slow roller. Fielded by Nieskins. Throw to first, though, is in time. That is out number 1, 6-3 in the book. That's going to bring up Ryan Schmidt, the catcher. Schmidt 0 for 1 with one of the only 2 strikeouts issued by Shane Sinclair. Base path is empty for the Hardhats backstopper with 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th. 2-0 is the Miles City lead. First pitch swung on and missed. 0-1 to Schmidt. And here comes the 0-1. That's way outside. Sinclair rearing back for a fastball, and it got away from him. Ball and a strike now the count to Schmidt. And here comes the 1-1. And that's upstairs. 2-1 now to Schmidt. Two-one pitch. Called strike. Pitch broke to the inside corner. 2-2. Sinclair looking for his 3rd strikeout and his second one against Schmidt. 2-2. High and away, and the count goes full. Schmidt struck out on 3 pitches in his first at-bat, so good to see him bring this count the distance. And the payoff pitch, high and away, ball 4. And Schmidt will take off for first. So a 1-out walk issued to Schmidt. He's now on the base path. That's going to bring up the second baseman, Mason Messenger, who also walked. And then Sinclair tried to pick him off, and it ended up being a 2-base error, but Messenger was stranded on third. The Hardhats have stranded 6 runners on the base path, 5 of them in scoring position in this game, and they trailed 2-0. So that's made a big difference. First pitch. Pitch is swung on, hit high in the air to shallow right center, and it's caught from right field by Jace Notboom for out number 2. 2 down, with a man on first for the Hardhats, and back to the top of the order we go to Connor King. King in this ballgame is 0 for 2 with a pair of flyouts to the outfield. 1 to center and 1 to right. King has Schmidt on first. 2 outs in the frame. Bottom of the 4th, Hardhats trail 2-0, and time is called before a pitch is even thrown. Sinclair from the stretch. First pitch from the righty. And that's a changeup outside, 1-0. One and 0 here to King. Man on first, 2 outs, bottom of the 4th. And the 1-0. Called strike at King's knees. It's 1-1. If King is retired, Monroe, Meyer, and Notboom are due up. 2, 3, and 4 in the order. Lefty, righty, righty for Branson Keel in relief. Time called again by King. Nice little game of cat and mouse between both the pitcher and the batter. Both taking their sweet time to figure out what they want to do. Check to first, not there in time. And Schmidt's back. Feel like we've been waiting a while for this 1-1 pitch to come. 2-0, the Miles City lead. 2 outs, bottom of the 4th, and a man on first here for King. Ball and a strike is count. Sinclair a look to first. And from the stretch, runner goes. 1-1, called strike inside, and the throw is way off track. And shaking off his hand is Sinclair, the catcher. I don't know what happened there, if he lost a grip on the ball or something, or if he maybe even injured himself. But that ball went flying the complete opposite direction a second. So Schmidt gets a stolen base on the play, and you've got to hope that Logan Sinclair is all right, because that would be a shame if he injured himself trying to throw the runner out. And he's flexing his hand and he's moving it around right now. And the umpire is going to come in and have a quick look at him. I wouldn't be surprised if needed. Tia Furman, the trainer of the Hardhats, comes off the bench, takes a look herself. But that was a very awkward throw, and you have to hope he didn't hurt himself on that. It was a called strike on King, so it's a ball and 2 strikes. And standing on second now is Ryan Schmidt with the stolen base. Coach Torvey calls out a signal from the third base coach's box. King steps back into the left-handed hitter's box. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Sinclair looking for his 3rd K. It would end another Hardhats threat. 1-2 pitch. High and away, 2-2. Connor King with runners in scoring position bats .333, so this bodes well for him right now. 2-2 pitch. Caught him looking, strike 3 with a pitch on the outside corner. And that is going to end the bottom half of the 4th and strand another runner in scoring position. No runs, no hits, no errors charged to Miles City. And 1 man left on the base path on second. We've played 4 innings of baseball in post 22. Still trails Miles City 2-0. We'll take a quick step aside, and when we come back, it's the top of the 5th. Miles City's Dylan Monroe will lead us off in just a few moments here on Hardhats-TV. Branson Keel back to it on the mound for the Hardhats. We have played 4 frames of baseball out of 9 regulation tonight. Post 22 still finds themselves trailing 2-0 to Miles City. For Miles City, 2 runs, 2 hits, 2 errors. Been like that for a while on the board. And for the Hardhats, also been like this for a while. No runs, 2 hits, 2 errors. Mark Benetti alongside you on Hardhats-TV tonight. We had technical difficulties with ESPN Rapid City. We have not been able to find a hold of anybody that can help us out with the problem. So for what I believe is going to be the entirety of the ball game, we'll be on Hardhats-TV tonight. It is pie night as well, so we have a great crowd. We have pies being given out all night long. Here's hoping this is my lucky year. The lefty, Dylan Monroe, steps into the box to lead off the top half of the 5th for Miles City. The DH is 0 for 1, reached on an error, was hit by a pitch, and he has scored the most recent of 2. Miles City runs. He shows bunt, pulled back though, and the first pitch is ball 1. 1-0 the count here to Monroe. Monroe, Meyer, and Notboom due up in the top of the 5th here. Branson Keel, second inning of relief. 1-0 pitch, a called strike. Fastball burned right at his knees. It's 1-1. Keel about to throw his 20th pitch in relief here to start off the 5th. And here comes the 1-1. Fastball swung on and missed. Strike 2. And it's 1-2. Keel can bring the heat. Would not be surprised with him in the driver's seat here to just attack and attack and attack with that fastball. Maybe throw one pitch to try and get him off whack. And Monroe calls time and immediately steps right back in. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count. Full windup for Keel, and the 1-2. Swung on, ball's hit to third. Stops made by Hegre. It's a fair ball. Throw to first is airmailed. It goes over the head of Caldwell, and slipping is Monroe, so he will retreat back to first base. They're going to rule that an E5 on the throwing error to Hegre. So the leadoff man reaches on an error. That's the second time Monroe has reached on the error. And that's going to bring up Chase Notboom. He is 0 for 1 with a walk and a ground out to second. Third error of the ballgame for the Hardhats, but the first one that has not been assessed to the second base position. First pitch. Called strike, a fastball right at the knees of Meyer. It's 0-1. Meyer struck out twice. He's 0 for 2. Keel looking to give him the trifecta. Cholas got strikeouts 2 and 4 out of 5 against Meyer. Keel a quick peek to first. Runner goes. 0-1. Swung on and missed. Strike 2. And the throw is over the head of Messenger. And Bowman was there as a solid backup. Monroe gets a stolen base. He's in scoring position. That's 2 steals for him tonight. 0-2 now the count to Meyer. And Keel looking for that second punch out. Keel looks at second now. And the 0-2. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. That's K number 2 in the book for Keel. 1 down with a man in scoring position. Brings us to Jace Notboom. Keel from the stretch looks at second. First pitch. Swung on and missed. 0-1 the count. Keel starting to go consistently with the heat. Checks the man at second. 0-1 pitch. Swung on, ball's hit high in the air, foul territory, first base side. Caldwell all the way to the fence. We'll watch it go into the stands. 0-2 the count to Jace Notboom. Meyer has struck out 3 times. Notboom 0 for 1, the ground out to second and a walk. There's a man on second right now with one out in the top of the fifth. Hardhats still trailed 2-0. Keel will look to second. Runner thought of going. 0-2 pitch is flared to the right side of the infield for a base hit. Sumption, the throw home, blocked by Schmidt, and he dropped the ball. And he couldn't get the tag at the home plate. And so with the RBI single and advancing to second is Jace Notboom, and the Hardhats now trail 3-0 with one out and a man on second here in the top of the fifth. Seb Morrow now comes up, the second baseman. Morrow is 0 for 1 with an RBI walk. He has a man on second with one out here in the top of the fifth. And first pitch. Fastball inside. 1-0. Ball and no strikes the count. And Keel deals. High and away. Fastball 2-0. Hardhats now trail 3-0. The RBI single from Jace Notboom is now standing on second. Keel from the stretch. 2-0. Fastball swung on and missed. And Seb Morrow's count is now 2-1. Thomas Ayers on deck. He's walked twice. 3-0 now, the Miles City lead. Here's the 2-1. Fastball is fouled off. 2-2. I credit Keel for sticking with what he is the best with. He missed a little bit on some of the breaking pitches that he has. He stayed pretty much straight fastball. It's tough for these guys to keep up with. He's got a ton of velocity. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And Keel deals. Caught him looking. Strike 3. Went with a breaking pitch. And that's his third strikeout for out number 2. What a fantastic pitch. And now here comes Thomas Ayers with a man on second and 2 outs here in the top of the fifth. Hardhats down 3-0. Man on second here for Ayers. He's walked twice. First pitch. Swung on. Ball's hit high in the air. Left center field. Connor King is tracking. Thought he lost it for a brief moment, and he's under it to get the out and end the top half of the fifth. 1 run on 1 hit with 1 error charged to the Hardhats, and a man left on the base path in scoring position. We've played exactly half the ball game tonight. Post 22 now trails 3-0 to Miles City. We'll take a step aside, and when we come back with the second half of the ball game, the Hardhats will lead off with Matt Hegre, Cooper Bowman, and Jack Sorensen in the bottom of the fifth. You are watching and listening to tonight's game on Hardhats-TV. Half the ball game has been completed, and Post 22 is still looking for its first run. They're down 3-0 right now to Miles City, Montana. Through 4.5 innings of play, Miles City has 3 runs on 3 hits with 2 errors in the field. And Post 22 has no runs on 2 hits with a trio of blemishes on defense. Mark Benetti alongside you here on on Hardhats-TV. We're having technical difficulties with ESPN tonight. Matt Hegre will lead off the bottom half of the fifth, and he looks at ball 1 inside. Hegre is 2 for 2. He has hit 2 doubles. Here's his 1-0. Inside again, 2 balls, no strikes. Shane Sinclair still on the mound here for Miles City. He just threw his 65th pitch, has not allowed a run on 2 hits in 4 innings so far. 2-0. Hits him. And Matt Hegre's on the base path for the 3rd time tonight, but this one he had to earn the hard way. So the leadoff man is on for the 2nd time in the last 3 innings. That's going to bring up Cooper Bowman, who's 0 for 1 with an error and a walk. The Hardhats need a clutch hit here. Bowman looking for his first hit of the ballgame. Walked the last time he was up. First pitch. He shows bunt, pulled back. It's a called strike. 0-1 the count here to Bowman. That's a good way to wake up the infield defense here from Miles City. Sinclair from the stretch. 0-1. Bowman swings at it. It's high in the air. Left field. Shallow left field. Ayers comes in, and he can't make the catch. And Hegre will advance to second, and Bowman gets the bloop single. So Bowman gets his first hit of the ball game. That's the 3rd hit for a post 22. Hegre now in scoring position, and that's going to bring us to the DH, Jack Sorensen, who's also looking for his first hit. Sorensen's 0 for 2, reaching on a fielder's choice and flying out to left. Back in the bottom of the 3rd. In that inning, he was the first out when both Hegre and Bowman were the first 2 men up and reached base. First base is in, trying to play a potential bunt if Sorensen is apt to lay it down. He shows bunt, and he drops it down the 3rd base line. Charging in is Cody Meyer, and his throw is there in time. Brilliantly executed sacrifice bunt by Sorensen. Hegre on 3rd, Bowman on 2nd. We have heard this before, though, for the Hardhats, and they were unable to knock him in. Jace Caldwell. He's had a hot bat as of recently. It's cool tonight. 0 for 1 with a hit by pitch and a fly out to right. The infield on the right side is in. Short is deep, and 3rd's right on the fringe. But 1st and 2nd are in on the grass. Interesting formation here. And Caldwell is going to step out and take some time to think about it. 2nd and 3rd. Hegre, the most immediate threat, 90 feet to his left. Caldwell represents the tying run here. First pitch is behind him. And Hegre takes off for home, and he's safe on the wild pitch. And the Hardhats are on the board. They trail 3-1 with a man on 3rd and 1 out here at the bottom of the 5th. That is a big break there for the Hardhats, who now have their first run of the ball game. 1-0 the count to Caldwell. And now the entire infield is on the fringe. Caldwell sets back into the batter's box. 3-1 now is the Miles City lead. Sinclair from the stretch. 1-0 pitch. Swung on and foul tipped into the glove, and the count evens up at a ball and a strike. 1-1 the count now to Caldwell. He is the tying run. Bowman the second run. 90 feet to his left. 1-1 pitch. Swung on and missed, high and inside. And it's 1-2. Caldwell tried to turn on that one. Swung for the fence there. 1-2 now the count. He's 0 for 1 with a hit by pitch and a fly out to right. 1-2 from Sinclair. Is high and inside. Oh, it hit him. That hit Caldwell. That must have barely grazed his jersey. And so once again with 2 strikes, Sinclair hits a batter. It comes with 1 out. It puts men on the corners, and that's going to bring up Zach Sumption. 0 for 2 with a fly out to right and a strikeout. Sinclair has 3 of them. Sumption was number 2. Big moment here for Sumption, still looking for his first hit of the ball game. He's the go-ahead run. First pitch. Behind him again. And now Bowman's going to try and sprint for home, and the throw's not going to get there, and the Hardhats are within one as Caldwell takes second, and Bowman scores on another wild pitch. That's the same time, back-to-back batters now, that the first pitch was behind the batter, and it knocked in a run. So now Sumption has the tying run in scoring position, and we're going to have a quick conference here with the coaching staff and the infield. Whether this is a pitching substitution or not, we don't know. I think it might just be, it's just a talk. It's just a conference. Because that's the first mound visit of the inning. But on two wild pitches, this game completely changed. Now the Hardhats are within striking distance and the tying runs in scoring position. So Zach Sumption has a 1-0 count with Caldwell sitting across from him on the diamond on second. We have one out here in the bottom of the fifth, and the Hardhats now trail 3-2 to Miles City. Mark Benetti alongside you on Hardhats-TV. We apologize for the technical difficulties we've had on ESPN. No one's been able to get back to us about what exactly the technical problems are, so we can't dial into the station, and that's the kind of night we're dealing with at the current moment with regards to technology. Tonight's game is only on Hardhats-TV. Sumption steps into the batter's box again. Sinclair about to throw a 74th pitch to the go-ahead run. Hardhats trail 3-2. 1-0 pitch. Hit him. Hit him right on his bucket. And now Sumption's on. That's back-to-back hit by pitches. Caldwell will hang tight on second. First and second still with one out. Alex Weaver now comes up. So the tying run's in scoring position. The go-ahead run 90 feet behind him. First and second. Weaver's 0 for 2, looking for his first hit. If there's any chance in the game to get it, any time to get it, it'd be right now. Pop out to short and a ground out to short. First pitch. Swung on. Ball is chopped foul, third base side. And Weaver's behind 0-1. Just a little bit ahead of that one. And he had to reach, too, to make contact. We'll see what Weaver's approach is here, 0-1 on the next pitch. No balls and a strike to count. 75 pitches for Sinclair. 76, hit high in the air. Into shallow right. Morrow from second calls it off, makes the catch, and gets a key second out. 2 down, men on first and second. Brings up Ryan Schmidt. Schmidt is 0 for 1 in the ballgame with a strikeout and a walk. He was the very first K issued by Sinclair. 2 outs, men on first and second. The tying run is across from Schmidt on the diamond. Hardhats trail 3-2 here in the bottom of the fifth. First pitch, way outside. 1-0. If Schmidt is retired, the Hardhats will still trail, and 7, 8, and 9 are due up in the top of the sixth for Miles City. If not, Mason Messenger's on deck. 1-0 pitch. Inside, and it's off the glove of Sinclair, the catcher. But no one offered at the next base, so everybody stayed put. 2-0 now to Schmidt. Two balls and no strikes to count. Sinclair sets. 2-0. Inside. And the count goes to 3-0 now to Schmidt. A pitch away from loading the bases up for Messenger. 2 outs here in the bottom of the fifth. The Hardhats have played at 2. Job still not done. They trail by 1. Sinclair from the stretch. 3-0. Called strike. And it's now 3-1. Three and one now the count to Schmidt. Men on first and second. And Sinclair's 3-1. Swung on, and it's fouled off. Good protect there by Schmidt. Count goes full. 81 pitches now for Sinclair in this start. Trying to finish up his 5th full inning of work. Caldwell on second, Sumption on first. Payoff pitch to Schmidt. And that's upstairs for ball 4. So Schmidt draws a 2-out walk. That's going to load up the bases. And that's going to bring up Mason Messenger, who's 0 for 1 with a walk and a pop out to right. Messenger needs to either walk or get a base hit to tie this game up at the minimum for the Hardhats. 2 outs, every base is occupied. First pitch, swung on and it's fouled. And the count holds at 0-1. No balls and a strike to count. To Mason Messenger with the bases loaded and 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. 0-1 upstairs. Count evens up at a ball and strike. On third is Caldwell, on second is Sumption, and on first with the 2-out walk is Schmidt. Hardhats have played it 2 on 2 wild pitches. They now trail 3-2. Time called by Messenger, so he'll step out for a brief moment. Messenger looking to keep this going. He could potentially give the Hardhats the lead. 1-1. Almost hit him. Just missed. 2-1. That was a very dangerous breaking ball for Sinclair because he's lost control of it the last couple of times he's tried to throw it. That could have knocked in the tying run if he wasn't careful enough. Here is the 2-1. Called strike. Fastball hit the outside corner. It's 2-2. Mason Messenger up with every base occupied. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. The Hardhats trail by 1. Messenger's count even at 2-2. Sinclair about to throw pitch 87. Deals. 2-2 pitch. Missed low. Sinclair thought he had strike 3, as did his fellow infielders. They started to walk off, and the umpire said, "Where are you going?" Payoff pitch coming up. Schmidt on first. Sumption on second. Caldwell on third. 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th. Payoff to Messenger. Everybody goes. Caught him looking. Strike 3. He can't believe it. Oh, my goodness. And that will end the bottom half of the 5th. 2 runs on 1 hit. No errors charged to Miles City. Every base left loaded for the second time in this ballgame. We've played 5 innings of baseball, and Post 22 trails 3-2. We'll take a step aside and come right back with the top of the 6th here on Hardhats-TV. Well, the Hardhats had a glorious opportunity to either tie the game up or take the lead. And instead, Mason Messenger strikes out looking with the bases loaded. That ends the 5th inning, but the Hardhats are within striking distance, now trailing 3-2. Numbers across the board through 5 innings of play. For Miles City, it's 3 runs on 3 hits with 2 errors. And for the Hardhats, it's 2 runs on 3 hits with 3 errors. Mark Benetti alongside you on Hardhats-TV. We apologize for the technical difficulties we're having on ESPN Rapid City We can't get a hold of anyone to try and help us out with the technical problems that we're having. The one person I could get a hold of is occupied at the moment, and therefore is not in a position to help us out. So Branson Keel will start off the top of the 6th, and his first pitch is up high for ball 1 to Dustin Benson, the center fielder. Benson followed by Logan Sinclair, the catcher, and Austin Capel, the first baseman. 7, 8, and 9 in the order. Here comes the 1-0 from Keel, and that's a half swing and a miss. 1-1. Benson couldn't make up his mind on the sequence of whether or not to swing. He ended up coming through the whole way, but it was a very weak swing at that. He didn't commit to his motion. Time called by Benson. Ball and a strike, his count. Hardhats trail 3-2 to Miles City as we just start the top of the 6th. Here comes the 1-1. Swung on and missed. 1-2. Now to Dustin Benson. Tonight is pie night here at the Fitz. Everybody has a red ticket, hoping that they're coming home with a pie. Still haven't seen my number, of course. I've been busy while they've been calling them out. 1-2, misses low and away, and the count evens up at 2-2. Just hoping to see my number on that board by the end of the festivities. I know I'd make my roommate, the equipment manager of the Rush, very happy if I did that. Here comes the 2-2. Upstairs, count goes full. 3-2 now the count from Branson Keel to Dustin Benson. Keel has pitched 2 innings of relief. Only allowed 1 run on 1 hit. Full windup for Keel. Payoff pitch. Inside, ball 4. So Dustin Benson draws a leadoff walk to start off the top of the 6th. Logan Sinclair comes up 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a ground out to second. Hardhats have yet to turn a double play. They're looking for one here. Messenger and Bowman are at double play depth. Bunt is showed. Hegre charges in from third. Pulling back and swinging and missing was Sinclair. 0-1. That was a very, very tight swing. Keel hit him inside, and I think if he had made contact, he probably would have hit his hands. That is how tight that swing came to that ball. 0-1. High and inside. 1-1. Benson's on first with no outs here in the top of the 6th. Hardhats trail 3-2. And Keel steps off the rubber and takes some time. 1 ball, 1 strike to count here to Logan Sinclair. He is the catcher for Miles City. Here comes the 1-1. Swung on and missed. And now it's a ball and 2 strikes to 1-2. Ball and 2 strikes to count. Branson Keel looking for strikeout number 4 in relief. Keel takes a look to first from the stretch. Check to first, not there in time. One ball and 2 strikes. Keel again. Deals 1-2. That's up high. 2-2. Logan Sinclair, the catcher, is up 0 for 2, looking for his first hit. First trip to the base path. A strikeout and a ground out. And Keel delivers. 2-2 pitch. Swung on, hit high in the air. Looks like it's going to go off the top of our press box. No, it just went over. And the count remains even at 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes to Logan Sinclair. Quite a battle of an at-bat he has right now with Branson Keel. Keel checks over to first at the runner. And the 2-2. Caught him looking, strike 3. And that's strikeout number 4 for Keel. 3 of them backwards Ks in the book. 1 down with a man on first for the Hardhats on defense. Brings us to Austin Capel, the first baseman. Capel in the ball game is 0 for 2 with a ground out to third and that first strikeout looking from Keel. Keel takes a look at first. Runner goes. First pitch, high and inside, ball 1. And Schmidt's throw was low and not there in time. 1-0 the count as Benson gets a stolen base. So Benson moves from first to second. 1-0 the count here to Capel with 1 out in the top of the 6th. 3-2 the Miles City lead. Keel from the stretch, a peek to second. 1-0. Inside. 1-1. Excuse me, 2-0. 2-0. 2 balls, no strikes. Keel about to throw his 47th pitch in relief. His 3rd inning of relief. Here comes the 2-0. Half swing and a miss. 2-1. Capel didn't commit to that motion, and because of his indecision, tried to pull it back, but he was already in too deep. 2 balls and a strike. Keel looks to second. 2-1. Up high. 3-1. Three balls and a strike the count. Keel from the stretch takes his time. 3-1. Called strike. And the count goes full now to Austin Capel. Big payoff pitch coming up here for Keel. His 2nd one of the inning. And his 3rd one in this relief appearance. And Keel's 3-2. Swung on, ball's hit high in the air, right side of the field. Sumption comes charging from right field towards the line, and in from second was Messenger, and he couldn't get the catch. It's a foul ball, and Capel stays alive. Very tough play for everyone involved. Caldwell sprinting from first. Messenger looks like he had the best beat on it. Sumption came from right. No one could come up with it. So we'll see another payoff pitch come from Keel to Capel. Probably for the best, too, because the runner would have tagged and tried to go to third. So now Keel can try and get an out at the plate or force a play that causes Benson to stay at second. Payoff pitch, number 2. Caught him looking, strike 3. K number 5 for Keel. 2 down with a man on second. Back to the top of the order to Dylan Neeskens. Branson Keel has 5 strikeouts. 4 of them are of backwards K variety. Now here comes Neeskens, who is 1 for 3 with a single, a strikeout, and a line out to third. Keel takes his time, now agrees on a sign. Quick look to second, and the first pitch. Swung on and fouled to the meshing behind home plate. It's 0-1. If Neeskens is the last out, the Hardhats will go to the top of the order. King, Hegre, and Bowman in that order for the bottom half of the 6th. If not, the left-handed hitting DH, Dylan Monroe's on deck. And now time is called before the 0-1 is dealt. Schmidt will have a quick word with Keel. Branson Keel's thrown 52 pitches in relief. He's only allowed 1 run on 1 hit. He has struck out 5 and has only walked 1. A great relief appearance for him. 3-2 is the Miles City lead. 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. They have a runner on second. With the top of the order, Dylan Neeskens up. 3 runs, 3 hits, 2 errors for Miles City. 2 runs, 3 hits, and 3 errors for the Hardhats. Keel gets his sign. And from the stretch, 0-1. Swung on and foul tipped into the glove. Or out of the glove, I should say. It did hit the paraphernalia of Schmidt. Regardless, 0-2 is the count. No balls and 2 strikes. Keel looking for a 3rd consecutive strikeout in this inning. He's a pitch away from accomplishing the task. Keel looks to second. A double take. 0-2. Missed low. And the count goes to a ball and 2 strikes. That seems to be the money move for Keel. On the 0-2 or on a 2-strike count where you are clearly in the driver's seat, go low, because the last couple of backwards Ks he's registered, they've been a strike right at the knees. And he's just been able to clip that area. That one a little too low, though. Here comes the 1-2. Missed low again. 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes the count now. Keel started off 0-2. He has thrown 2 balls since. Dylan Neeskens on the edge of ending the inning here. Keel deals the 2-2. Swung on, ball's hit high in the air to right field. Sumption's underneath it, makes the catch, and that'll end it. So the Hardhats strand another man in scoring position on defense. No runs, no hits, no errors, and a man left on second. We played 5.5 innings of baseball. Post 22 still trails Miles City by a 3-2 score. We'll take a quick step aside, and we'll come right back with a bottom half of the 6th and the top of the order due up for the Hardhats here on ESPN Rapid City and on Hardhats-TV. Five and a half innings are in the books here at the Fitz, and post 22 got some help in the bottom of the 5th to get on the board and cut their deficit within 1. They need a little more than that, though, if they hope to overcome this 3-2 deficit that they currently face. 3 runs, 3 hits, 2 errors for Miles City. 2 runs, 3 hits, and 3 errors for the Hardhats. Connor King, Matt Hegre, and Cooper Bowman are due up. Top of the order for the Hardhats seems like a bright spot to the inning, which was a good pick-me-up after the inning started off with me being told my ticket still has not been drawn for a pie. We're still waiting. We're still waiting. Got 3.5 innings of baseball left. I think we'll be all right. We got this. New pitcher on the mound for the Miles City squad. Garrett Etchemendy now takes over on the mound. He is also a right-handed pitcher. So Etchemendy comes out to take on the top of the order. Sinclair went 5 innings, allowed 3 hits, 2 runs, both earned. He struck out 4 in the start on 88 pitches. He ended up walking 4 and hitting 4. Connor King looks at strike 1 to start off his 4th plate appearance. 0 for 3 with 2 flyouts and a backwards K. And the 0-1 to King. Misses low. It's a ball and a strike. Garrett Etchemendy now on the mound, in relief of Shane Sinclair. Ball and a strike. And the pitch. Swung on, ball's hit to second. On the hop, Morrow's able to make the stop, and his throw to first is in time. 1 up, 1 down for the Hardhats. Matt Hegre comes up, 2 for 2 with 2 doubles and a walk. 2 doubles and a hit by pitch. 2 doubles and a hit by pitch for him. And they're going to shift over for him, too. First pitch from Etchemendi's up high for ball 1. The shortstop, Dylan Neeskens, moved over to his right a bit. The second baseman is playing as if he's trying to cover a potential base stealer on second. 1-0, pitch is fouled off. And the count evens up at a ball and a strike. Hegre was late on that. I think he was purposefully, though. If he's a little late and he makes solid contact, he's going to push the ball opposite field. And there is a Mack truck-sized gap between first and second right now. And an even bigger gap from right field to center field. Next pitch is fouled. And the count goes to 1-2 as that flies into the crowd. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count. Etchemendi looking for his first strikeout in relief on just the second batter faced. 1-2 to Hegre. Swung on, ball's chopped foul, third base side. And the count holds at 1-2. Ball and 2 strikes to the Hardhats third baseman. Base path empty with 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. It's a 3-2 Miles City lead. Etchemendi from the stretch. 1-2. Swung on and missed, strike 3. A nice breaking ball by Etchemendi, his first strikeout in relief. 2 up, 2 down. For the Hardhats on offense, now brings us to Cooper Bowman, who's fresh off of his first hit of the ballgame. And that was a single. He also came in to score back in the bottom of the 5th. Bowman, in total on the ballgame, is 1 for 2. Reached on an error, walked, and got that single. So he's been on base 3 times. He's only come around to score once. Twice he's been stranded in scoring position. Hardhats have stranded 10 runners on base. All but 2 of them were left in scoring position in this game. First pitch to Bowman, swung on, hit to the left side. Stopped by Neeskens at short. He bobbled it a bit, and his throw to first is way off track. Bowman's going to try and take off for second. He is on his horse. The throw is low, and it's not in time. And Bowman is safe at second. So they're going to give him a hit on that. A single, and he will advance to second on the throw. 4th hit of the ballgame for the Hardhats. And Bowman stands in scoring position. With 2 outs, it brings up the cleanup hitter, Jack Sorensen. Base hit from Sorensen, and the Hardhats will have tied the ballgame up. Bowman in scoring position with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. Miles City has the 3-2 lead. Etchemendi, first pitch, inside, ball 1. Sorensen on the ball game is 0 for 2. Laid down a sacrifice bunt the last time he was up. That played a huge factor for the Hardhats. And they're going to check the second. It's not there in time. Sorensen laid down that sacrifice bunt, and then back-to-back at-bats, a wild pitch moved a runner over. And then there were 2 hit batsmen after that. So Sorensen's sacrifice bunt came into play big time to allow the Hardhats both runs to come across that he advanced. Ball and no strikes. Etchemendi looks to second at Bowman. Here is a check to second, and it's into center field. Bowman gets up. He's on his horse. He's going to third. And E1 has advanced Cooper Bowman to third. They have also issued an E6 on the throw from earlier that allowed Bowman to go to second. So that's 2 errors in this inning right now for Miles City. 1-0 the count, and Bowman is 90 feet away from tying this ball game up. 1-0, swung on, ball's hit high in the air to right. And underneath it, unable to make the catch, is Notboom. Sorensen's going to advance to second, and he's safe. And we are tied at 3 as Bowman comes in to score. Notboom tried to slide. He couldn't make the catch. And Jack Sorensen gets the 2-out RBI single, and we are square at 3. Errors starting to pile up now for Miles City with 2 of them in this inning. Advancing the runner. Sorensen, the RBI single. What a clutch hit that was. And now Jace Caldwell's up. And he fouls off his first pitch. He's behind 0-1. Caldwell's 0 for 1. Twice he's worn a pitch. Sorensen, after the RBI single, advanced to second. After Notboom picked himself up to try and field it. 0-1, ripped into left. That's a base hit. Sorensen has the green light. He rounds third. He's heading home, and the throw is in time. And the game remains tied at 3, and that will be the end of the bottom half of the 6th. One run with 2 errors issued on 3 hits, 2 errors to Miles City, and the Hardhats have tied this one up at 3 aside. We'll be right back with the top of the 7th in just a few moments here on Hardhats-TV. Post 22 has tied this one up. 6 innings of play. We're square at 3. Miles City gave up 3 hits and also surrendered 2 errors in the bottom half of the 6th. That allowed the eventual tying run to move all around the base path. Post 22 has now squared this one up at 3. Dylan Monroe, the lefty, Cody Meyer, and Jace Notboom are due up here in the top of the 7th. Mark Benetti alongside you on Hardhats-TV, experiencing technical difficulties on ESPN Rapid City. So as far as I'm concerned, this ball game in its entirety will be broadcast solely on Hardhats-TV. Branson Keel back on the mound, deals ball 1 to Monroe, who is 0 for 2, reaching on an error twice, walking once. Keel deals a called strike on the outside corner. It is 1-1. Post 22 now tied up at 3. With Miles City here in the top of the 7th. Full windup. Here's a 1-1. High and inside, 2-1. Miles City, 3 runs on 3 hits with a costly 4 errors. And for Post 22, 3 runs on 6 hits, also with 3 errors that have not helped them much throughout the course of the game. Here comes the 2-1. Called strike. Fastball outside corner. 2-2. To number 22, Dylan Monroe. Monroe looking for his first hit, but he's been on the base path all 3 times and come around to score twice. 2-2 from Keel. High and away, and the count goes full. Branson Keel has 5 strikeouts in this relief appearance. 4 of them are of the backwards K variety. 4 strikeouts looking out of 5 issued. 3 balls, 2 strikes. His first payoff pitch of the 7th. And Keel's payoff pitch. Swung on. That ball's ripped up to second. Messenger, the stop. Throw to first is not in time. They called him safe at first. It's an infield single for Dylan Monroe, his first hit of the ball game. And that's going to bring us to Cody Meyer, the third baseman. Awfully close. So now that brings us to Cody Meyer. He is 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. And time is called before a first pitch could come from Keel. Won't be surprised to see Meyer drop the bunt, not only just to try and contribute because he's 0 for 3 with 3 Ks, but because we are in a small ball situation, no outs in a tie ball game here in the top of the 7th. Haggerty is on the grass at third to try and field the bunt, if it comes. No sign of bunt is showed, and Meyer looks at strike one at his knees. 0-1 the count. With a man on first and no one out here at the top of the 7th, we are knotted up at 3. At one point, Post 22 trailed 3-0. They've scored 3 straight runs. 0-1. Runner goes. Pitch is low and outside. Throw to second is in time. And Dylan Monroe is caught stealing 2-4. A brilliant throw from Ryan Schmidt from behind home plate, and now it's a 1-1 count to Meyer, and the base path is empty with 1 out here in the top of the 7th. Ball and a strike, the count to Meyer. And the infield is back to its normal depth. 1-1. Pitch missed, 1-1. 2 balls and a strike, the count. Full windup for Keel. 2-1. Called strike in the inside corner, and it's 2-2. Keel's been pounding the inside in this game. Keel takes his time. Here's the windup. 2-2. Swung on, and that ball's lined over the head of Cooper Bowman and into left center field for a base hit. King comes in to field it and gets the throw into his cutoff, and Bowman limiting Cody Meyer to a single. So Cody Meyer, after starting off 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts, now has a 1-out single under his belt. And that's going to bring up Jason Notboom, the right fielder. Notboom is 1 for 2 with an RBI single and a walk. Twice he has been stranded in scoring position. That's going to be a big stat in this ballgame. How many runners left in scoring position between both sides? 5 right now for two. Now the count to Notboom. Keel looks to first. And the 0-2. Pass ball now makes it a ball and 2 strikes. And Advance currently his 4th inning of work. He has 3 1/3 technically already completed. 1-2 pitch. Caught him looking. Strike 3. How many times have I said that tonight? 5 is the answer. 6 strikeouts, but 5 times I've said he's caught him looking. 2 down, a man on second. Here in the top of the 7th. That's going to bring us to Seb Morrow, the second baseman. Morrow's 0 for 2 with a ground out to short, an RBI base on balls, and a backwards K. One of the 5 Branson Keel has issued. And his 3rd of 6 overall strikeouts. First pitch, a called strike inside. 0-1. 0-1 to Morrow, who has Cody Meyer on second. The go-ahead run. Tied up at 3 here in the top of the 7th. The Hardhats need 1 more out to get back to the sticks. 0-1 pitch. Inside, a little too far, and the count evens up at 1-1. Keel's really liked the inside part of the plate tonight. His strikeouts looking have either been on that inside corner or they've been right at the knees. He's picked his location very well, and he has not fatigued from that location and control at all. At least that's what it looks like from here. 1-1 pitch. Swung on, and that ball is pushed into right. It's going to drop for a base hit. Sumption fields it. He gets the throw home, and the throw is hit by the runner coming in. And I think the run's going to count. And Miles City is back on top, 4-3, with 2 outs here in the top of the 7th on the RBI single from Seb Morrow. He advances to second on the throw. The ball came in and hit the runner coming home. And so Schmidt was unable to get to it on the sequence. So now it's a man on second with 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. Miles City back on top. Just as quickly as the Hardhats tied it. Half an inning separated between the Hardhats tying it and Miles City taking the lead back. First pitch is high. Ball 1 to Thomas Ayers. Ayers is 0 for 1 with 2 walks, one of them an RBI walk. And he flew out to center field as well. Man on second here in the top of the 7th for him and 2 outs. Miles City back up now 4-3. And the 1-0 is up high again, 2-0. If Ayers is the last out, Sumption, Weaver, and Schmidt are due up in the bottom of the 7th. If not, Dustin Benson, the center fielder, is on deck. Two-0 from Keel. Called strike. Fastball at his knees. 2-1. Thomas Ayers, the current batter, 2 balls and a strike. Seb Morrow with the RBI single and advancing to second on the throw is on second. 2-1. Swung on and missed. There's another fastball. 2-2. Two balls and 2 strikes to count. And Keel deals. Missed just outside, and the count goes full. Keel has 6 strikeouts. 5 of them are backwards Ks in the scorebook. 1, 3, 4, 5, and 6. His last 4 in a row have been strikeouts looking. He needs a big one here. And time is called by Ayers. Sumption, Weaver, and Schmidt are due up in the bottom half of this inning. They have to rally back to square the game back up. 4-3 now the Miles City lead. Big payoff pitch coming up here for Keel. And Keel delivers. Caught him looking, strike 3. And that is strikeout number 7 at backwards K number 6. 1 run on 3 hits, no errors charged to the Hardhats, and a man left stranded on second. 6.5 innings of baseball. Everybody get up and stretch. Hardhats trail 4-3, bottom of the 7th coming up. We'll be right back with the bottom and Zach Sumption to start off here on Hardhats-TV. Well, I'm in the middle of taking my 7th inning stretch, but Post 22 is trailing 4-3 now to Miles City. It was 3-3 starting 7th. And then the Hardhats surrendered a 2-out RBI single to Seb Morrow. It scored Cody Meyer to give the visitors the go-ahead on the scoreboard. Through 6.5, Miles City 4 runs on 6 hits with 4 errors. And Post 22, 3 runs on 6 hits with 3 errors in the field. Mark Benetti alongside you on ESPN on Hardhats-TV. We are not on ESPN Rapid City tonight. There are technical difficulties. Zach Sumption leads off the bottom half of the seventh and looks at ball one from Garrett Etchemendy in his second inning of relief. Here comes the 1-0. And it nearly hit Sumption. It's behind him, 2-0. A lot of control issues from Miles City pitching. Shane Sinclair hit 4 batters. And Etchemendy nearly hit one right there. 2-0. Breaking ball is high and inside, 3-0. Etchemendy has a weird release. He's kind of sidearm, but kind of not. It depends the pitch. His breaking ball, he comes from a different arm slot. 3-0. And that's inside, ball 4. 4-pitch walk dealt to Zach Sumption to lead off the bottom of the seventh. Tying runs aboard. That's going to bring up Alex Weaver. Alex Weaver's 0 for 3 on the ballgame. Sumption takes his lead off of first. And now time is called before any pitch is thrown. Mark Benetti alongside you on Hardhats-TV. Again, we've had technical difficulties on ESPN Rapid City. The one person that I normally rely on for our technical assistance was occupied broadcasting a live remote. Everybody else we tried contacting has not responded. So we were unable to get on the radio for this matchup. Looks like we're ready to go. Etchemendy, first pitch to Weaver. Swung on. That ball's ripped into left field, and it's going to drop for a base hit. Sumption's on second. He's going to hang on as the ball is cleanly fielded by Ayers and thrown in Easkins. Tying run is in scoring position. Go-ahead runs on first. A big single there for Weaver, his first hit of the ball game. That's going to bring us to Ryan Schmidt. Coach Torvey and I taped an interview for later to air this week on ESPN Rapid City, and he said it's so funny that hitting is so cyclical, whether it's within a game or within a season, and now we're starting to see that as the Hardhats didn't have many hits racked up to get to this point. Now they're starting to swing well. Kappel's off of first, trying to field a potential bunt. Schmidt swings at it. It's lined to the third baseman on the throw to seconds in time. An L5-4 double play. As Sumption is caught out on second. A crucial double play in favor of Miles City, and now the tying run is all the way on first. It's Alex Weaver. Mason Messenger's now up. 0 for 2 with a walk and a strikeout. And Etchemendy's first pitch. Inside, ball 1. 1-0 the count to Messenger. Who's also popped out to right field. Weaver off of first with his lead. Etchemendy deals, runner goes. Pitch is low, and the throw to second's way off track. And Weaver's safe with a stolen base. Good base running for Weaver to put himself in a scoring position. 2-0 is the count to Messenger, with the tying run 180 feet away from home. Swung on it. That ball's punched into left field. It's going to drop for a base hit. Weaver's got the green light. He's rounding third. He's coming home, and the throw's not in time. The Hardhats have tied it up at 4, and now Messenger's trying to go to third, and Etchemendy's going to eat it up. A 2-out RBI double for Mason Messenger, and the Hardhats have squared this one up at 4. And Messenger advances to third on the throw, so the go-ahead run is 90 feet from scoring, and we come back to the top of the order to Connor King. 2 hits in the inning for the Hardhats and a big run scored. How crucial is that stolen base by Alex Weaver? And it looks like Etchemendy's relief appearance will come to an end. And I believe coming in from right field is Jace Notboom to come and pitch. So Etchemendy is now going to be inserted into the lineup, in the batting order, I should say. He's going to take to the outfield. Etchemendy's going to come in and bat in the DH spot held by Dylan Monroe. And so now, Notboom comes in from right field to pitch. Post 22 just tied the ball game up. RBI double for Mason Messenger. He advanced to third on the throw. And Etchemendy ended up going 2 2/3 of relief. 1 2/3 relief. 1 2/3 of relief. He gave up 5 hits, 2 runs with a potential third on third. If Messenger comes around to score, that number will change. Etchemendy only struck out 1. And only walked 1 as well. He did it all on 22 pitches in relief. So now, Notboom comes in from right field. Just a 1-for-1 swap. Notboom's going to pitch, and Etchemendy will play right. Well, here we go back to the top of the order to Connor King. King's 0 for 4. Law of averages dictates he's due for a hit. If he gets it, the Hardhats have their first lead of the entire ball game. Bottom of the 7th, 2 outs. Go-ahead run is on third. And the first pitch from Notboom's a fastball inside for strike 1. King flew out to center, flew out to right, struck out looking, and grounded out to second. No balls and a strike to count for the Hardhats lefty. And Notboom deals the 0-1. That's up high in his letters. Ball and a strike. Mason Messenger is on third. Hardhats just tied the ball game up at 4. Really got his dugout fired up. 1-1. Swung on. Ball's popped up high in the air. And it went over our press box. Actually landed behind us. That was a tad too close for her comfort. 1-2. And the 1-2 hits him. That went right into his leg. And King goes down, and he is limping at first. Another 2-strike hit batsman. That's 5 hit batsmen, by the way, for Miles City. And so Tia Furman's going to come out. Connor King's trying to walk it off, and Tia's going to take a quick look and come to the aid of her center fielder. He's waving her off, I think, but they're just going to have a quick conversation. Matt Hegre's now up. Hegre's 2 for 3. Both of his hits were doubles. He'll have men on the corners with 2 outs. Hegre struck out the last time he was up. That was Etchemendy's only strikeout. Etchemendy ended up going an inning and 2/3 for Miles City. Gave up 5 hits, 2 runs, still 1 in question. Struck out 1 and walked 1 on 22 pitches. And so Connor King looks like he's ready to rock. Hegre comes up, has to wait for our umpire to get behind home plate. Kind of important for him to be there to do his job. And now Notboom is set on the mound, ready to go from the stretch. Notboom has men in front of him and behind him on third and first. First pitch, swung on and missed. 0-1 the count to Hegre. If Hegre makes contact, the Hardhats, if he gets a base hit, I should say, the Hardhats will have their first lead of the ballgame. Runner goes, 0-1 pitch. Is a called strike. They're not going to throw to second. King is safe. Called strike on the defensive indifference. 0-2 now the count. 2 men in scoring position for Matt Hegre. We are tied at 4 with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th. Time called by Sinclair. He's going to go over this with Notboom. King is on second. Messenger is on third. Matt Hegre is in the box, behind 0-2. 2 for 3 with a pair of doubles, a run scored on a hit by pitch, and he struck out once before. No balls and 2 strikes to the Hardhats third baseman. You can feel the tension. 0-2. Swung on and missed, strike 3. And Notboom gets his first strikeout in relief, and that ends the Hardhat threat. 1 run on the power of 2 hits. No errors charged to Miles City. Men left on the corners. We've played 7 innings of baseball. We are tied at 4. Jack Sorensen is going to come from the DH position to the mound. He will throw against Miles City in the 8th inning. We'll be right back with that in just a few moments here on Hardhats-TV. We have played 7 innings of baseball. Post 22 once again has drawn the game level. They have tied it at 4 against Miles City. For the Hardhats, 4 runs, 8 hits, 3 errors. Miles City, 4 runs on 6 hits and 4 errors. A single 9-inning game that's been a rarity for the Hardhats as of recently. They've played a ton of 7-inning contests. The last 2 9 innings they've played prior to this one didn't even go the full 9 innings. That was against Post 320. Mark Minetti alongside you on Hardhats-TV. We apologize for the technical difficulties we had with ESPN Rapid City. We were unable to get on the air. And now Jack Sorensen comes up on the mound and throws ball 1 to Dustin Benson. 7, 8, 9 due up. Benson, Sinclair, and Capel for Miles City. 1-0, hits him right in the helmet. That's a bad miscue to start this one off, as Benson, the go-ahead run's now on the base path. Jack Sorensen, that's just the 4th batter he's hit on this season. He has 7 strikeouts to 7 walks, a 3.75 ERA. This is his 6th appearance of the season, all in relief. He has a 2-1 record in relief and is 1-for-1 at save opportunities. Logan Sinclair now up with a man on first. First pitch. Bunt is showed. Bunt is dropped. Sorensen gets the stop. Throw to first in time. 1-3 sacrifice. And that advances Benson to second. The go-ahead run in scoring position. That's going to bring us to Austin Capel, who is 0 for 3 with a pair of strikeouts. Branson Keel, by the way, was just sensational in relief. Keel gave up 2 runs on 4 hits in 4 innings of work. He struck out 7. And the first pitch misses for ball 1 to Capel. It's 1-0. And he only walked 1 and hit 1. He only walked 1. Next pitch, high and inside from Sorensen. It's 2-0. Here's the 2-0. Inside, 3 balls, no strikes now to Capel. from Jack Sorensen. Sorensen has a man on second to worry about, and Dustin Benson advanced by the sacrifice. Here in the top of the 8th, 1 out. 3-0's a called strike. 3-1. Three balls and a strike to count. And the 3-1 swung on and missed. That pitch was way inside, and Capel took a big cut at it, jammed him. I mean, even if he made contact, he would have jammed it. Probably would have popped out. On a 3-1, I wouldn't have swung at that, but he did. That's why he's playing the game, and I'm calling it. 3-2. Sorensen, payoff pitch. Inside, ball 4. And the fans are voicing their displeasure. That was insanely close. First and second occupied with 1 out. That's going to bring us back to the top of the order to Dylan Neeskens. Neeskens on the ballgame, 1 for 4. First pitch swung on, hit high in the air. Foul territory, first base side. And no catch was made. That was right out of our field division. There must have been a collision there, too. I honestly can't see what's going on over there. It's covered by the fencing and the bullpen. Tia, the trainer, has come out, and head coach Kelvin Torvey has as well. And there must have just been a collision with either a fence or two guys coming in. Messenger and Caldwell and Sumption were all in that area. Had a great play on the ball. Sumption, I don't know where he is out of that pile. I don't think he's gotten up, or he's up, but he's talking with Tia at the moment. I really can't see what's happening. The umpire's over there with head coach Kelvin Torvey and Tia Furman, the trainer. Oh, and it's Jace Caldwell, the first baseman. Sumption was in that pile. He came back to right field. We're sorting out just exactly what had happened. Post 22's tied up 4-4 right now with Miles City. We're in the top of the 8th inning. Miles City has men on first and second. They are threatening right now. It's an 0-1 count to Dylan Neeskens, the shortstop. And we're taking quite some time here with the medical attention being provided to Jace Caldwell. There were 3 men that came over from that right side. It was a high fly ball that was hit just shy of the bullpen area. Caldwell from first, Messenger from second, and Sumption from right field all converged on the ball. And it looks like he's all right. He's going to take a couple of strides and rub some dirt on it, as they say in the sport. Again, the Hardhats are tied at 4 right now. And Caldwell's just testing out his lateral ability to move. And keep in mind the depth chart for first base. I don't know who else they would go to. Jack Sorensen's the only other first baseman that the Hardhats have seen all year. And he's currently on the mound in relief. Caldwell seems to be all right. Coach Torvey and Tia, the trainer, have now come back out. I've seen and give Tia more airtime in this ball game than I think I have the last 3 years I've worked with her. And she's been the trainer of Post 22 baseball, so she's got quite the airtime tonight. No balls and a strike the count. Caldwell's back and ready to rock and roll, as is everybody else on the field. Jack Sorensen back on the mound. And the 0-1 is low and away. Ball and a strike now to Dylan Neeskens. Neeskens a 1-1 count with men on first and second. 1 out here in the top of the 8th. Hardhats are tied at 4. 1-1. Hits him. Second hit batsman of the inning for Jack Sorensen. And now it's bases loaded with 1 out. And now the pitching coordinator, Ryan Clapperich, is going to come out and have a quick word with everybody. This is a crucial moment in the game, folks. Bases are loaded, 1 out. The Hardhats and Miles City are tied at 4. They've been going back and forth these last couple of innings. And now coming up is Garrett Etchemendy, the right fielder. He came in as a relief pitcher, but then when Notboom was substituted from right field to pitch, Etchemendy took his spot in right field. That got rid of Dylan Monroe, the DH. So Monroe finished 1 for 3. Reached every time he was up. He reached on 2 errors, got hit by a pitch and singled, and he scored twice. So Etchemendy stepping in for Monroe as part of that pitcher right fielder switch we had discussed earlier. The corners are in. The middle infield's at double play depth. Jack Sorensen in quite a bind, just his first inning of relief. He needs a double play, and he needs it now. First pitch misses low. 1-0. Either that or a quality out at the plate to get a key second out and relieve some, not all, of the pressure. 1-0. Swung on and fouled. And Etchemendy's count evens up at a ball and a strike. Every base occupied. 1 out here at the top of the 8th. We are tied at 4 between Miles City and the Hardhats. 1-1. Inside, off the glove of Schmidt. And the throw home is not there, and the throw's wide. Another run's going to come in. Caldwell settles, he's going to eat the ball. 2 runs have scored, and it's 6-4 Miles City on a crucial sequence. Neeskins all the way to third. Ayers in to score, as was Capel. So the pass ball right off the glove of Schmidt brings in both. So now it's a man on third. Infield's in, 1 out, and the 2-1 is fouled. 2-2. Neeskins is on third with still 1 out. Sorensen needs a big out at the plate here. Infield's in. Hardhats now down 6-4. 2-2, caught him looking, strike 3. And there's strikeout number 1 for Sorensen and a key second out. Damage has already been dealt, though, so now the Hardhats have some pressure relieved. But they have to get Cody Meyer here. Meyer is 1 for 4. He started off the game with 3 straight strikeouts and then finally belted a single. In the top of the 7th, he came around to score the 4th run of 6. First pitch, a called strike. 0-1 to Meyer. Meyer is Neeskins, 90 feet to his left. 2 outs here in the top of the 8th. 2 runs have been plated. It's now a 6-4 lead. Oh, 1 swung on and missed. 0-2 now from Sorensen to Meyer. Jack Sorensen trying to get out of this inning. 0-2. Misses low and away. 1-2. Sorensen, the 3rd pitcher used in relief in this ball game. Ball and 2 strikes. 1-2. Swung on it. It's fouled off, and Meyer stays alive. Meyer has a man on third. 2 outs, top of the 8th. His team's already plated 2, and they now have a 6-4 lead over the Hardhats. Crucial moment here for Sorensen. He's got to get out of this inning. Here's the 1-2. Swung on and it's fouled again. And the count will hold at a ball and 2 strikes. Sorensen about to deal his 30th pitch in this relief appearance. One, two. Swung on, ball's ripped right to the glove of Caldwell for a catch. And that is going to end the top of the 8th. 2 runs were scored on no hits. No errors charged to the Hardhats. 1 error charged to the Hardhats. And 1 man left on third. We've played 7.5 innings of baseball. And Post 22 now trails 6-4. We'll take a step aside, folks. We'll be right back as we go to the bottom of the 8th with Cooper Bowman to lead off here on Hardhats-TV. Jace Notboom is back out onto the mound for Miles City. Now has a 2-run lead to protect. Miles City Outlaws taking on the Post 22 Hardhats. Mark Benetti alongside you on Hardhats-TV. We've had technical difficulties all night with ESPN Rapid City. Cooper Bowman, Jack Sorensen, DH turned pitcher, and Jace Caldwell due up in this inning. Bowman on the ball game, 2 for 3. He has singled in back-to-back at-bats. Jace Notboom on the mound in his second inning of relief, not his second full inning. He only came for a third of the last one. This will be his first full frame if he stays on the mound. 1-0 the count as that first pitch was low and away. Bowman set. 1-0 pitch. Called strike. Fastball at Bowman's knees, 1-1. 6-4 is the Outlaws' lead. One. Outside into the backstop. 2-1. Two and one now to Bowman, leading off the bottom half of the 8th. Hardhats trails 6-4. Notboom, 2-1. Swung on, ball's hit high in the air, but it goes foul. And the count evens up at 2-2. Bowman was going to turn on that pitch, but just got ahead of it. Two balls, 2 strikes. Notboom sets from the stretch. 2-2 pitch, low and away. And the count to Bowman goes full. 3-2. Big payoff pitch coming to Bowman to start off the bottom half of the 8th. Notboom from the stretch. Payoff to Bowman. Swung on and ball's fouled. And Bowman stays alive as that goes off the top of Shep's Peak. 3-2 still the count. Bowman, Sorensen, Caldwell, barring any substitutions for the Hardhats. You're in the bottom of the 8th, down 6-4. This is a full 9-inning game. A rarity for the Hardhats in recent memory. Payoff pitch, number 2. Swung on and it's fouled again. Bowman stays alive. Lather, rinse, repeat. Payoff pitch number 3. Soon to come up. Cooper Bowman about to see a third payoff pitch from Jace Notboom. Notboom from the stretch. Payoff number 3. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Bowman reached at that one, and that's strikeout number 2 for Notboom. One up, one down for the Hardhats here in the bottom of the 8th. Jack Sorensen now comes up. Sorensen had the RBI single last time he was up. He's 1 for 3 in this ballgame. Sorensen now the relief pitcher on duty for the Hardhats. First pitch, up high, ball 1. 1-0 the count here to Sorensen. Sorensen with 23 pitches in that first inning of relief. Ball and no strikes to count to Sorensen from Notboom. Base path empty for Sorensen with 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th. Hardhats trail by 2. 1-0, fouled off the catcher, and it's 1-1. That's why they wear all that gear. Ball and a strike to count here to Sorensen. No one on the base path. Hardhats gave up 2 runs in that top of the 8th on a throwing error. There was originally 1 run on the pass ball, but then Schmidt tried to get a play to Sorensen and it went right through his legs. It allowed another one to come in. 1-1. Low and away. 2-1. Two balls and a strike to Sorensen. He's fresh off of an RBI single, so he does have a hit in this game at 1 for 3. Here comes the 2-1. Swung on and it's fouled off. Right behind home plate, 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes. Jace Caldwell on deck. He's fresh off of a single. 1 for 2, and he's been hit twice as well. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And Notboom deals. Swung on it, it's fouled off again. And the count holds. Two balls, 2 strikes. Notboom looking for 3 straight strikeouts, dating back to his only out in the bottom of the 7th. 2-2, swung on and missed, strike 3, and he got it. And Sorensen's not pleased with himself. It was a quality at bat. He got Notboom to battle. He got him to really battle hard. It's unfortunate. I see his frustration, though. Now Jace Caldwell is up. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th. Hardhats trail by 2. First pitch. Misses low and away, ball 1. Notboom has started off every one of these counts with a ball, but he's come out with a strikeout. Very odd you see that. Ball and no strikes to count. Notboom deals. Swung on and missed. Ball and a strike to count. 1-1 here to Jace Caldwell. 2 outs, bottom of the 8th. Base path is empty. Hardhats trailing 6-4 to Miles City. One. Swung on, ball's fouled. First base side. 1-2. 1-2 now to Caldwell. The Hardhats are looking for something to get them back in this. Here comes the 1-2. Missed low and away, 2-2. If Caldwell's the final out, then Notboom, Morrow, and Ayers are due up in the top of the 9th. Final offensive chances for Miles City to try and add on. 2-2. Hit. No, it almost hit him. Broke inside. Count goes full. That would have been the third time he would have worn a ball if that made contact. 3 balls and 2 strikes. And the pitch. Swung on. Ball's hit high in the air. Left side of the field. Foul territory. Over from third to make the catch is Cody Meyer. And that is going to end the bottom half of the 8th. That is not what the Hardhats needed. A 1-2-3 inning. No runs, hits, errors, or anybody left on base. We've played 8 innings of baseball, and Miles City still has their 6-4 lead. 1 frame remains. We'll take a step aside and come right back with the top of the 9th here on Hardhats-TV. Eight innings have been played. If you're doing math in a 9-inning game, that means there's 1 more left. Unless the Hardhats find a way in the bottom half of this inning to tie up. We still have to play the top half first, and that's where Miles City will get their last crack on offense as of right now. The top of the 9th. Notboom, Morrow, and Ayers stew up. Mark Benetti alongside you on Hardhats-TV. Miles City with a 6-4 lead, and Jack Sorensen still on the mound in relief. Throws a first pitch strike to Notboom. 0-1. Notboom's 1 for 3. RBI single, strikeout, ground out, and a walk. And his 0-1 is up high, 1-1. Miles City with a 6-4 lead on 6 hits with 4 errors. The Hardhats 8 hits and 4 errors. Next pitch, a breaking ball that just missed, and it's 2-1 now to Notboom, the pitcher for Miles City. Here's the 2-1. Swung on and missed. 2-2. Now the count. Sorensen has a strikeout in relief. Be a good pick-me-up to start off this 9th inning if he could punch a second one in. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the pitch. Caught him looking, strike 3. What a breaking ball from Sorensen. My goodness. That's 1 up, 1 down for the Hardhats on defense. A key first out. What a way to earn it. That's going to bring up Seb Morrow, the second baseman. Morrow on the ball game is 1 for 3. RBI base on balls, RBI single, a strikeout looking, and a ground out to short. First pitch is outside for ball 1. 1-0 the count to Morrow. With 1 out, base path empty here in the top of the 9th. And the 1-0 is up high, 2-0. Sorensen just threw his 30th pitch of the relief appearance. The third pitcher that the Hardhats used started off with Zach Cholas, followed up with Branson Keel. Quality 7 innings for those two, struck out 12 and walked 4. And the next pitch missed for ball 3. It's 3-0. Cholas had 5 strikeouts and 3 walks. Keel had 7 and 1. On a combined 145 pitches. 3-0 is up high for ball 4. And so Morrow is on with 1 out and a walk. 4-pitch walk brings up Thomas Ayers. Ayers is 0 for 2. Walked twice, knocked in a run with a walk. And was the 7th of 7 Branson Keel strikeouts. And another backwards K. First pitch, swung on and missed. 0-1 the count. Hardhats pitching's really kept them in this. Again, when you recap what Cholas and Keel have done, 12 strikeouts to 4 walks. Unfortunately, a lot of the troubles came when, and it's not directly because of Jack Sorensen, but once he took the mound, that's when Miles City came back. So unfortunately, he's the pitcher of record right now. 0-1 is foul back, 0-2. Jack started off his first inning in relief, hitting the first batter he saw, eventually came around. Then he walked another batter that also eventually came around. Hit one to load the bases, got a strikeout, but he didn't have much help. 0-2. Pitch. Caught him looking. Strike 3 again. My goodness. There's K number 3 for Sorensen. Nobody has swung on strike 3 since he's pitched. On his 3 strikeouts. 2 down, still a man on first. Dustin Benson now comes up. He scored what is considered the game-winning run at this point. That's the 5th run out of 6 Miles City has. Runner goes. First pitch, called strike. Throw to second is not in time. And so Seb Morrow gets a stolen base to put himself in scoring position. 0-1 the count now to Dustin Benson. Benson is 1 for 2. He was the final strikeout issued by Cholas. He singled. He's walked once, and he was hit by Jack's pitch and came around in the top of the 8th to score the winning run. Or that, as for right now, the game-winning run. 0-1. Misses. Schmidt gets the block, and he's going to hang on to it. 1-1 now the count to Benson. The Hardhats have Sumption, Weaver, and Schmidt due up in the bottom of this inning to try and spark the 9th inning comeback. 1-1 high and inside, 2-1. Two balls and a strike from Sorensen to Benson. Man on second, 2 outs here in the top of the 9th. Hardhats trail by 2, and the 2-1 is swung on and missed. 2-2. Sorensen gets strike 3 here. Sumption, Weaver, and Schmidt are tasked with spearheading the comeback here in the bottom of the 9th. 2-2. Off the bat. Oh, my goodness. Somebody send that to SportsCenter, not Top 10. That was absurd. He drops the bat behind him. The pitch is behind him for ball 3, and it goes off the bat for a foul ball. Wow. Oh, my goodness. The chances of that ever happening again are nanoscopic. 2-2. Runner goes. Throw to third is off track, and it goes off of the bodies of both people at third, and it trickles into foul territory, and a 7th run is scored. It's 7-4 Miles City. Morrow stole third. Then an E2 brought him home. And the next pitch is a swing and a miss for strike 3, and that's going to end it. So Sorensen ends with 4 strikeouts. But unfortunately, strike 3 didn't come soon enough. 1 run on no hits, 1 error charged to the Hardhats, no one left on base. We've played 8.5 innings. The Hardhats now need to score 3 runs. They're down 7-4 to Miles City. We'll take a step aside, folks, and come right back. Sumption, Weaver, Schmidt, tasked with spearheading the comeback here on Hardhats-TV. The Hardhats have 3 outs. All they have, 3 outs to try and mount a comeback against Miles City, down 7-4 in the bottom of the 9th. Zach Sumption, Alex Weaver, Ryan Schmidt, barring any substitutions, due up to hit for the Hardhats in this final inning of regulation. 7-4, the Outlaws lead. Mark Benetti alongside you on Hardhats-TV for all of today's matchup. First pitch, nearly hit Sumption. 0-1. The count from Jace Notboom. And they're saying it hit Sumption. They're saying it hit him. So that's a good start for the Hardhats. They need base runners. They got one. Sumption hit by the pitch. That's going to bring up Alex Weaver. Check to first. Not there in time. Notboom has now hit 2 batters. That's 6 from the Miles City staff, on top of 4 errors. First pitch to Weaver. Hit him. Back-to-back hit batsman. And that's a 3rd hit batsman for Notboom and 7 total for the Miles City staff. That's going to bring up Ryan Schmidt with men on first and second and no one out. Schmidt's the tying run here. So now Notboom's really got to get his control in check if he hopes to hang on for Miles City. Mason Messenger on deck. Ryan Schmidt comes up. 0 for 2 with a strikeout, and he lined in with double play. He's also walked twice. First pitch. Swung on and missed. 0-1. And that was a good swing and a good cut there by Schmidt, because you know Notboom, after hitting 2 guys, he's going to go for the simplest pitch to get a strike. So it was a good cut from Schmidt. He guessed right. He just missed. 0-1. Low and away. Count evens up. Ball and a strike. Schmidt followed that one the whole way. That was a good eye. Sumption's on second. Weaver's on first. Hardhats have a lot of speed on second. One. Called strike on the low outside corner. It's 1-2. To Ryan Schmidt. No outs here in the bottom of the 9th. Schmidt's the tying run. Men are on first and second for him. Still no one out. Jace Notboom trying to close this one out for Miles City. 1-2. Nearly hit him. Inside, it's 2-2. That would have been the 4th hit batsman for Notboom in relief. The only guy that didn't hit anyone was Garrett Etchemendy. There have been 7 hit batsmen from Outlaws pitchers. 2-2 to Schmidt. Caught him looking. Strike 3. Fastball inside. And Notboom gets his 4th strikeout. 1 down with men on first and second. Now the double play can end the ball game. That brings up Mason Messenger, who got a clutch RBI double the last time he was up. He's 1 for 3. Top of the order is on deck after him. That's Connor King. First pitch. Low and away, ball 1. Messenger's also been walked once. He's been on the base path twice. Both times he's been stranded at third. 1-0 to Messenger. Swung on, ball's hit to short. Stops made on the play by Neeskens. Second for 1, to first for 2. He got it, and that is going to end the ball game. And Miles City will take this one as Messenger grounds out into a game ending. 6-4-3 double play. Until the Hardhats' 7-game winning streak is halted in a 7-4 loss to Miles City. It was a promising start to the inning as post 22 had their first 2 men hit by pitches, but they couldn't get them across. So Miles City takes the win, 7-4, the final score. Folks, that's going to do it for our internet broadcast tonight. Again, we apologize for the lack of ESPN broadcast. We had technical difficulties trying to dial into the station, and then we really got no help on trying to get back on the air. The one person that I rely on for technical support was unable to help us, and attempts to reach out to the station to get more help unfortunately fell by the wayside. So the Hardhats losing this one. It ends a 7-game win streak. Also ends a streak of 7 straight games in which they've scored double-digit runs on double-digit hits. So tough one for the Hardhats to swallow, but here's hoping they can get back and get ready to rebound for our 5 games in 3 nights this weekend. Two games against Sheridan on Friday starting at 5 o'clock here at the Fitz. Another 2 games against Dickinson starting at 5 o'clock on Saturday night. And one last 7-inning matchup against Dickinson at 1 o'clock on Sunday. Thanks so much for your patience with all the technical difficulties, folks. We'll see you Friday for the start of another busy weekend on Hardhats-TV.